What a truly horrific night to be a South Florida sports fan. Truly horrific. I will tell you that watching the Panthers lose that way, and I imagine Zaslow is just broken today. I don't know. Greg Cody's about to be here, but he's stuck in traffic, and he is enraged. And you know who he's mad at? Other cars. And he just told his son, if anything's going to make me quit the Le Batard Show, because that's what we need around here right now, it's traffic. What's wrong with your father?
He has anger issues, but they come out the most in traffic. I mean, I think that's a lot of us. I'm not angrier anywhere else in my life than in traffic. But yes, he sending me paragraphs of text today, just angry.
Steaming. Can you read any of them to me? Because if anything's going to make me quit the Le Batard Show, it's traffic. I didn't put that there.
Typical BS traffic today. Emergency vehicle in the express lane up ahead. Right now, it's estimating I'll arrive at 9:03. Hopefully, it breaks up. I might quit.
Can we call him right now just to get the steaming Cody on? And don't tell him. Do we dare do this without telling him he's on air? Do we dare?
Let's roll the dice.
Oh, that seems unsafe.
It's my dad, though. If it wasn't my dad, I'd feel a little more reckless.
I mean, unsafe. He's writing you paragraphs of text while he's in full-on traffic.
You think it's safe?
I think he's dictating that for the record. He's a big speak-to-text guy.
Surely he's familiar enough with how we do this show that he'd know that we're live.
No, he wouldn't. If you called him...
What do you mean? He's been around the show for
let's try our
over
chances.
a decade.
That would be the point of the Shadow Show, right? Nobody would clip this or aggregate it if he did. We're not doing show. It hasn't started. It's in the shadows. Call him live, and let's just not tell him he's on air, and just ask him, Dad, you here soon? Just pretend like, Dad, we're late. We're starting. Where are you?
I don't know about this. I don't want to hear Greg Cody get in an accident.
Let's just.
All right, I'll do it here. I was going to wait to do it over Zoom. I could just call him on speaker on my phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, tinny. Okay. That's what the Shadow Show should be.
Yeah.
Tinny.
All right, here we go. It's ringing. Hey, Dad, you're late. Are you here?
I'm about to turn left on 5th, so I'll be at the valet in like a minute. If the valet can take me soon, I should be walking up there.
Dad, we can't start the show without you. We need you to hurry.
You're hilarious.
What happened? Why are you late?
I haven't been hurrying for 2 hours. Okay, I'm hurrying as fast as the traffic will allow me. I'll be up there in about 3 minutes.
Would it be quicker to just get out of the car and run the rest of the way?
All right, I'll see you in a few minutes.
He doesn't like me right now.
Chris almost cracked there for a second, right in the middle of it.
Really makes you respect the Jerky Boys, huh?
I mean, you'd think a father and son would have chemistry. All he had to do there was get his father started on traffic. All he had to do was say, "What's wrong? What's the matter with traffic?"
I think he got him there. He was exasperated.
He didn't know he was on air,
Well,
and didn't give us the genuine laughter of having to run in here because he's late. Let's just examine for a moment our general work environment that he would be mad at us because he's late.
He didn't sound that mad, if I can be honest. He sounded pretty pleasant.
He's so good at his job that why can't we tolerate him being late?
He did sound
Worth the trouble.
exasperated at Chris asking, kind of like, what happened?
Well, that's because he had texted me. In his mind, he's like, I told you for an hour that I'm learning late.
So this is the tension, though. Zaslow hates that part of Cody so much. You're so self-important, dude. You're so self-important.
Do you know the hurricane that's coming towards you right now, by the way?
Why?
Are you familiar?
What'd I do?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's the way you identify yourself, apparently.
What, as a two-time champion broadcaster, you got a problem with that?
I don't, but some people do.
All right.
Some people who are balleting right now.
You got a problem with that? We can take care of that.
You should have worn your rings today. Next time you're on with Cody, you got to wear your rings.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you do? Where are they?
They're on my dresser in a very nice case.
What do you like weddings? What do you?
Yeah,
take
you
them
know
out
what? I
for?
was at a Zaslow wedding this weekend.
Really?
And
Mazel.
I was going to wear it, but I forgot. But I'll wear them to nice events. Yeah, not both at the same time. I mean, what am I, asshole?
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, I hear him chatting the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the top. passion. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. We take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, like girls, better tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch me, please use caution. Stop that, stop that, stop that.
I don't know what to say about Greg Cody not being here. Being late is okay around here, evidently. Greg Cody's mad at us because he's late, and we're asking him to not be late. Everyone else got in on time. Evidently, they were in different traffic.
I took the same route as him. I'm here.
And so oh, my God, this is going to be steaming.
What
comes in here right now? No, I can see him in the other room right now. He's just going to lollygag in with his Publix bag filled with whatever, trinkets.
You guys ever seen Jurassic Park where they're hiding from the raptors and the raptor comes up to the door and it snorts and then looks through the window? That's exactly what Greg just did. He walked past the door, looked in the window, and I saw his eyeball, kind of his pupil, dilate.
Greg, come do your job professionally. Arrive. It's the same time every day, roughly. And
Now he's like, where do I get my makeup done? In the chair? Out here?
Just bring Jesse on in. We'll turn. No.
Let's go.
Jess, come on in. No,
2 minutes ago,
That's
show
fine.
started.
No, let's stop the show. It's what he's always wanted. He's sore from dancing at a wedding. It's all about him, baby. And so
I was at a wedding too this weekend. I'm here.
No, but did you dance so much your body hurts?
I danced.
Also, he's on a back-to-back. You're not on a back-to-back, Zaz.
I mean, you act like I don't work other jobs. I worked yesterday.
So does he.
All right.
Greg Cody Show.
I'm here.
Featuring Greg Cody.
On time.
Just the breathing.
You mad at us?
It depends on your attitude. I left my house at 7. It took me 2 bleeping hours to get here. You want me to leave my house at 6 just to make sure I'm
No,
here?
I heard you threaten to quit. Like the traffic might make you quit the Le Batard Show. That would be an unfortunate ending.
Well, what I told him was if I ever quit this show, traffic will be number 1 on my list of
Where do you
reasons.
come from?
From my home in an unidentified Broward city.
I'm in Broward too.
Okay.
I'm here.
What time did you leave?
7:15.
Okay, but you're a 2-time NBA champion.
No, 2-time champion broadcaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't misidentify you.
Yeah. So you probably have your own lane, like a Zaslow Express lane.
Matter of fact, the express lanes were closed this morning. I still found my way here.
Uh-huh.
You ever use Waze?
Yeah, I do use Waze.
All right.
Waze
Maybe you
and
got
means.
maybe you got a different version than I do. Mine got me here on time,
All right.
like a journalist.
Let's just wait till he gets makeup because I think he's so entertaining that he should be allowed to be late whenever he wants to be. He had a big wedding this weekend. His body hurts.
First of all, am I late?
What do you mean? Are you late? The show started.
I mean, well, you could have waited. Why'd you start it without me? Quite
We're
frankly.
live.
He's not wrong.
But
We do a live show.
to be fair, there are 1, 2,
Hi,
3,
Amin.
4. Hey, Greg, how's it going? There are, 6 people here. We could have handled it without him. We didn't
Hello.
have to bring it to a screeching
Do
halt.
hellos 4 minutes into the show. Greet everybody.
Yeah. Let's
All
wait
right,
till
whose
he
phone
puts-
is doing this? Please, who's getting the iMessage constantly? Like who's doing this?
this-
It's going
is-
off like crazy.
Is this my computer?
Yeah. I'm getting notifications. It sounds like a MacBook.
I haven't heard anything. There's no one texting
Oh,
anything. on
don't
it.
gaslight me like that. There is a noise.
Amateur.
I'm still not clear what that word means.
What, amateur?
No, gaslight.
Oh,
You good, Dad?
Put on CNN.
great.
He's getting there. He's fine.
There
man.
it is again.
Are you?
Did you not hear that? Did you not hear that? It was there.
It ain't me.
I think I just shut down equipment I need because you guys instantaneously rightly assumed it was
anyone-
me because his stuff's not on yet.
I also saw you panic once and get your phone out of the way when one of those noises popped up.
Did you guys hear it? Because I actually.
It's there it is again.
All right, who's
please
the culprit?
Please tell me it's
I'm
Cody's
Jeff.
phone.
No, it isn't.
No, this is pre-Cody. This noise was going off pre-Cody. I'm like, oh, all right, I'll let it slide. With
Is
the
it
way that we
Zaslow?
started the
No,
show.
I hear it in my ears, which means it's coming from that room.
It's not coming. Oh, dude.
I
This
thought
is
it was.
textbook gaslighting.
I
right
thought
here.
it was that room too.
It's not this room.
You feel so good being smug under that mustache.
I am not being smug. I'm being gaslit.
Still not sure what that word means.
I just noticed the mustache.
Let's wait till he gets all this stuff plugged in. I'm sure he's got a ton of basketball thoughts. I'm glad we waited for them because that was a heartbreaking night last night for the.
This is very unprofessional.
Is that your nostrils that are making that sound? Breathing?
I didn't make a sound.
The Florida Panthers lose last night, and I want to get to that game in a second. But the thing that I was feeling last night that I did not feel the entirety of my life that was legitimately confusing to me is I watched that entire Knicks-Celtics game, and I did not know at any point who I was rooting for. And at the end, I just decided I want both of them to lose. I can't do this. At the end of this game, this is wonderfully entertaining as sports and television. And the way I feel about both the Knicks and the Celtics fan base make it so that this game, I want the meteor to win. I want both teams to explode, both teams to lose, both teams to get injured, both teams to punch each other in the face and play for seven games that are wildly uninteresting, the way the Celtics are when they miss all their 53s and ruin the game. Ruin the game because that's what we're playing now. And I watched a basketball game that had legitimate stakes, and I cared, but only to sort of hate both entities and not want either fan base to win. And it was wildly confusing to me to have that happen.
I think it's in this room.
It just
I've
happened
changed my
again.
mind. I think it's in this room.
You think it's in that room?
It's happening here.
What made you think that? The fact that all the microphones were off in here and you heard it? What is happening in there? Take all the equipment out. This must stop. Stop.
I don't think
I think it's you.
It's okay.
It's you.
I understand. Oh, if it's this,
I don't hear it.
If it's that computer over there, someone's getting fired.
Who?
I don't hear anything.
No, we
He gave the
confirmed.
Matumbo finger.
Is it this computer down there?
If you want to look at my phone and come in here and
a
tell me
Stugotz
if you
computer.
think it's me, I'm not trying
Is
to
that big
conceal
board
that.
behind Dan that looks like a computer?
noise.
Maybe it's
not
that.
a text noise.
Do you think if I turn this computer off, I'm gonna?
Well,
Just
I think
mute.
you have to
guys,
slam it on the
guys,
floor. To
just
make
mute
sure.
the
Right,
computer.
it's not a muting thing. It is the sound of a computer that
Charging.
the charge cable
Yeah.
is kind of not connected well. So
Oh,
it-
yeah,
it starts charging and then it stops and then it
what
starts
it is.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heard it again.
Maybe it's in the control room and one of their mics is on.
This is very.
I heard it that time.
I heard it, and it's not anywhere near me, and I didn't touch anything. But it sounds like it's coming from over here.
Is it April Fool's Day?
So are you closer to understanding what a gaslight is?
Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet.
Okay, there it is.
All right, now it might be Greg.
It is.
It's the
this computer.
Stugotz laptop.
It's a Stugotz laptop that was on the floor.
Not me. Innocent.
Yes.
So Stugotz is fired.
Get that out of here.
Yeah.
Greg Cody
Right,
beats
that
all
was
charges.
I
Thank
will
you.
tell you guys right now and be as honest as I've ever been. I was sure I was guilty, but I didn't know how. So the accusations from the other room made me lose confidence because I knew it wasn't Cody because his equipment hadn't gotten here. But I heard the sound too. But I also felt like it wasn't my fault. But as I turned things off, I wasn't sure I was turning them off, and now I was scared because we're supposed to be doing a show.
Dan, I'll be honest. When Mike first went off, I was like, "Oh crap! I think it's my laptop." I actually closed my laptop.
I think all of us were like, shit, is
While,
this me?
while we were doing the search, I quietly closed my laptop like so, just because, to make sure.
But I saw what was happening around me, and I felt a bit framed because there was a lot of confidence in the room over there, and it was.
I apologize. I kind of blame that room. I apologize.
You did, but the confidence that was swaying from that room was not any confidence other than a technological one. We've got this room beat. And
I liked our hand.
No,
You think it was more likely we framed you than you just made a mistake?
Yes, this is the relationship I have with the room and how ready I was to fight everyone who was making me feel very insecure as I backed away from the microphone, almost sure it was me. Oh, that's as much happiness as I've had in 4 years knowing it was not me.
But it was you, but it wasn't your fault. It was us doing it to you.
Well, somebody did that. Like, somebody put that in here, and so that was not me, and that was just done to our show.
Was that the Stugotz computer?
So, Billy, so forgive me for thinking that you might be an anarchist who would do something to annoy me.
I mean, a little accountability. If it's your laptop, it could be
But
your
it wasn't.
fault.
But it wasn't my laptop. I don't know.
We didn't plant a laptop in there.
But you
It's
still
Stu's.
think that I was responsible for that?
No, I don't think you were responsible.
No. I I'm not rooting for a meteor in Boston and New York.
Are you rooting for injury? Like, what are we rooting for?
I'm actually rooting for the Knicks.
A meteor's likely death.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I was watching that
Ultimate
game,
injury.
and I was really surprised at how hard I was rooting for the Knicks because, see, I don't think the Knicks have a shot to win the championship, but I do think Boston has a shot to win the championship. And right now, I'm actually enjoying the Knicks fandom. They haven't beaten a really good team all year. They're, 0-11 against the Thunder, the Celtics, and
Not anymore.
And the Cavs.
Nuggets and the Cavs. Yeah, so they got their win over there. They're super excited. They stole home court advantage. I'm enjoying this. In fact, I'm kind of enjoying the Knicks brand right now. And I guess the rivalry is such between the franchises that I hate the Boston Celtics way more than I hate the New York Knicks. So I was actually really surprised at how strongly I was rooting for the Knicks from the jump.
I am 1,000% with you. Mike, my hatred toward the Boston Celtics is so far superior to my hatred of the New York Knicks. Maybe even if you took my hatred of the Knicks back in the late 90s, and certainly my hatred of the Knicks right now, maybe if you took my hatred of the Knicks back in the late 90s and compared it to my hatred of the Celtics right now, it might still be in favor of the Celtics. My hate for them is far surpassed. And here's the thing. The style of play that the Celtics use, it's a vomit. It is unwatchable. They missed 45 three-pointers last night. It's the NBA playoff record. It's the worst brand of basketball. And then you look, I mean, their entire offense, it's dribble the blood out the basketball, right forearm push-off, step-back travel, fadeaway three-pointer. That's their entire offense. And the Knicks, on the other hand, look, I'm going to sound the way I sound. It's kind of admirable the way they play because the NBA player, two things they love more than anything else, complain and not play. And the Knicks, they play. Those guys play. They play heavy minutes. Everyone wants to be critical of Thibodeau. What a crime to play your best players the most you could possibly play them. The Knicks style of play is actually admirable, in my opinion.
I can't abide praise for the Knicks here.
I run with them.
Dude, all the Jeremy Taché, all the Heat fans kind of feel aligned right here, which is like,
he's not a fan.
Go Knicks. Go Knicks.
It's totally go Knicks.
Yeah, totally.
It's
100%.
okay to hate both teams, right? It's
I
okay
thought
to
I
hate
did,
both teams.
but when they played each other, I was like, well, let's go Knicks.
I mean,
It is okay to hate both, but which ones do you want to lose more?
I don't care who wins
Oh,
because
come
I
on.
don't like either. Okay, everybody dislikes the champion. The Boston Celtics were the first team I liked because I was born in Massachusetts. You know, Bill Russell, Sam Jones, Havlicek. They were my first team. Right now, I don't care. Everybody hates whoever's the champion. Everybody hates the Knicks because they're the Knicks and because Spike Lee is wearing a Knicks hat at the Met Gala. So everybody hates both teams. I like watching a game where I hate both teams.
Can we take?
I either want a rooting interest or I want an interest
Greg.
where I don't like either team.
Greg, I'm giving you the truth serum, all right? You're there, you're strapped down.
Right.
I have a big giant needle.
Yeah.
And I've shoved it inside your arm
Sure.
with truth serum. It's
Yeah.
in your veins. So you have to tell the truth right now. Which team do you want to lose more?
The Knicks.
Really?
Oh, yeah, clearly. Yeah, there's no question about that. I mean, I don't
Well,
like,
then you're rooting for the Celtics. That's what that means.
it doesn't mean I'm rooting for the
Sure it does.
Celtics. No,
Sure it does.
It means I want them to lose less than I want them to
And the
win.
only way for them the only way for the other team to lose more is if one team beats them. You're rooting for the Celtics.
Yeah, but if the Celtics win that series, I'm not going to be cheering. I hope they lose in the next round.
I need them out of my life right now.
Really?
You think I need the Celtics 2 years in a row? You think I need this shit in my life?
Can we take away Spike Lee's biggest fan? He went to the Met Gala over Game 1. What?
He was at the Met Gala. I know that because I saw a photo of him wearing a Knicks hat.
Are you positive that that is a recent photo? Because of all the photos that came from that, Spike Lee could be photographed any year at that.
But they have themes. every
Yeah,
year.
I mean, I saw a bunch of photographs from
It was
this
also in
year's
Boston.
Met Gala, including him. So,
Is it Gala or Gala?
well, it's the PFPI Gala, but Gala with emphasis on the G.
So not even Gala, it's a Gala.
Gala. It's the PFPI Gala, but in other terms, most people say Gala.
I say Gala.
I think Gala is the chic.
Confirmed
way to say it.
that he missed game one.
There you go.
Fraud.
I reported that just now.
It was a road game. That was in Boston.
I reported that Spike Lee missed game 1 for the Gala.
He went to Detroit.
I feel like Spike's got a hard time traveling.
No, I'm just saying. If he's the number one fan in New York.
Do you think
doesn't
they had the
mean he
game on?
Road. I mean, Timothy Chalamet reportedly missed the Met Gala to watch the Knicks game.
Wow.
Real fan.
But do you think that they have the game on, like at the wet bar?
I think that if you wanted to watch the game there, you could watch the game there.
He's holding his phone.
It's
got to
be wild.
I mean, let's be real. Once you get inside, I imagine it's just like an empty banquet hall, right?
What goes on there? Is
nothing.
it like a show?
I think that the celebrities just plug themselves back into the wall, they recharge, and then they go home. Like, I don't think there's anything going on there.
You guys, because this part is amazing to me, you do realize that if Jay Williams is on television saying Jalen Brunson is the best Knick of all time, and we can argue it, but it gets forgetful of Patrick Ewing. But whatever, we can have the discussion if you want to. I imagine Amin would have some opinions there. But that feeling last night for the New York Knicks, a team that has not closed out a series in the playoffs at home since 1999, I could set out without being prisoner of the moment that's the best Knicks game I've seen and the best the Knicks fan base has felt in a quarter of a century. Last night, winning in overtime.
That's not saying much. Have you looked at their last quarter century?
I'm just saying he's sitting here hating the Knicks, and it's an old brand he's hating. It's not like he's rooting. What's happening with Zaslow and Mike, I imagine a lot of people are saying, looking at the Celtics, I can't root for that. I just can't root for that. And he's over here saying to you, I can't root for what I remember of Spike Lee being on the Knicks sideline back when Knicks Heat mattered.
No, but here's what I'm going to say to what you just said. When the Celtics are missing a playoff record 45 three-point shots, you really want to give the Knicks a lot of credit for playing a great game? I say the Celtics choked to an epic degree. The Knicks were the most fortunate team in America to win that game.
They did choke. It was a super meltdown, all right? But still, I mean, they're down by 20 on the road, second half. It's a pretty impressive comeback.
Dan, I think I can explain Greg's position here. Let's say you have a house, and you find out that the house has a termite infestation, right? Oh, my God, these termites. Get the exterminators, the termites won't go away. What do we do? Would you rather hear that the termites are still there, or would you rather hear, good news, the termites are out, bad news, you now have rats? Because that's what would happen if the Knicks start getting good. Right now, the Celtics have been good. It's not a new thing. They've been good for a few years now. You live with it. It's termites. Okay, that's it. You tell me now I have rats? Like, oh, come on. Like, can we keep it to one pest at a time?
I can't get that fan base much louder. Like, I can't enjoy the Knicks fan base success because I've seen how loud it is and how desperate it is to be good again. These celebrities, that the Ben Stillers and the Hank Azarias and the Tracy Morgans of the world, like, they feel they haven't had that basketball feeling in 25 years in that town. And most of them are old enough to remember that, no, Patrick Ewing is the best Knick of all time.
Well, no. Well, whoa. Whose laptop was that?
Was that Cody's?
It ain't me.
Whoa.
I had
Cody.
Check
I'm pretty
your
sure
cables.
that was Cody.
Here's my look at my volume. Okay.
It's not a volume thing. It's a charging cable thing.
Whoa.
Who did charging cable?
But
Doesn't make any noise.
That's an Apple sound. Greg doesn't have an Apple.
I don't
And
know.
Greg's
What I got. I got a
I am
Microsoft
now
Surface.
certain that it is Greg Cody's computer.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Troubleshoot
frame
that.
you.
This is
I
what I'm
wouldn't.
talking about. You see, you know it's not coming from me.
This is a gaslighting.
You know it's not coming from me.
Is the sound, gaslight means the sound?
No, it's you know something to be true, and someone tells you to your face that what you believe is not true. It's a
Right.
proper gaslighting.
Yeah.
This is so unprofessional.
What does that have to do with gas or light?
It's like how you start a fire, like gaslighting.
We didn't.
But then you actually started a fire. You're telling me
Well,
that
we didn't
there's
start
no
the
fire.
It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Yeah. Exactly. Well put.
Oh, Greg loved being. Hey, hello, Dolly.
Da, da, da.
I love that last night. Yesterday, he just singing that song my entire life. Hello, Dolly.
If you can, for just a second, I did. We made a lot of fun of Greg Cody yesterday. However,
As usual. I got thick skin.
You come
Clearly,
back every
you have
day.
to.
Clearly.
Yeah, you got to have thick skin in this business.
Thick toenails,
In
too.
this business.
Stand on it.
You keep coming, Greg. I mean, you go through traffic and all just to come
I
and
come
be
here,
abused
man.
every
I
day.
do.
Show
Got
videos
skin
of you
like an
falling
alligator.
in bushes. It's insane.
Well, that's uncalled for. That happened a century ago. Playing the old
that's
hits.
Greg Cody.
No,
That's
it
Greg
isn't.
Cody.
I saw you
know it
reach.
is. I know it is. It is. It's got to be.
You hit your computer there.
Vet me to make sure it's not me.
I don't know that you deserve the benefit of the doubt here.
If it's me, I will give you a $100 bill right now. If you can prove that is my computer.
Billy,
making
frame
that
him the
noise.
way you framed me.
I mean, how is he? I think we could easily prove, air quotes, that it's him, and he won't know.
Go ahead.
That's correct.
All right. I'll go in there.
Grab the cord of your thing.
Mike go in. No, don't touch it. Mike will go in there.
Hold on.
Everyone hands up. Everyone hands up.
Hold on.
Zaz, hands up. I don't trust you. Hands up.
Everyone's hands up. Okay, wait a minute. You guys heard officially what the bet is, correct? So hold on. Listen to me carefully on what the terms here, because he's so confident. He never puts down his own money. He's so cheap. He's so cheap. And
I'm the most generous person you know.
okay, so you haven't paid a fine in 2 years, whatever. We can argue about that later.
Yeah, I
you
don't
have
believe
made
in fines.
you hold your
Hands up. Hands up.
You
Hands
guys,
up.
hands up.
Did you touch your cord?
Hands up. Hands
You guys,
up.
Mike is gonna adjust his thing, and we're gonna see if it's his computer.
We think it's the cord.
This is an easy way to tell.
And we'll all find out together whether you owe $100 or not. But before he does this, you are 100% positive that you will not be paying me $100.
No, I won't be because my computer's. Not
Okay, do
guilty.
you have the 100 on you? Because you haven't paid a fine in forever. You saying you're going to pay something means nothing.
I got a wad full of bennies right in my pocket.
There you go.
All right, let's see.
Which I don't really, but.
No. Well, wait a minute. No. So, are you going to be good for the $100?
Which I don't really.
No, Greg.
You got that Venmo?
Greg, are you agreeing contractually right now? We will take it out of your next check. $100 is the bet.
Well, you got to start paying me first.
No checks. We need
When's the
cash.
last time I got a check from Meadowlark?
No jokes.
I'm not making a joke.
Direct deposit.
I got to check with my business manager on that one.
No, hold on, please. And I'm sorry. I know we're belaboring this. And forgive me, Panther fans. Forgive me, Panther fans, for not talking about the Panthers.
You're welcome to everyone
Yeah,
else.
they're happy that you're not.
All right, $100 bet. But again, you're going to pay it. Your words mean nothing. I'm sure it's you.
All right, Mike.
This is an AOL email, just for the record.
Of course! Of course!
No.
So obvious! Of course! That's what I'm talking about!
That's impossible.
That's what I'm talking about!
It's the cord right here. It's loose.
That's what I'm talking about!
How does that make that noise?
It's your laptop.
My volume is off, though.
It's not. It has nothing to do with the volume. It makes that noise even if your laptop is on mute. They do that so you know that your device is charging.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Why don't you do it?
Where did Dan
See,
go?
it's not making noise.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. Wow.
No.
Greg.
No, somebody else is doing that in there.
Greg.
No, now this is gaslighting.
What?
How can they possibly do it in there?
Hold
What's
on.
happening
All right,
in
let me
here?
do it one
So
more time.
gaslighting.
Very unprofessional.
I didn't touch it.
Damn it.
And you saw that I didn't touch it. You saw
sometimes-
that I didn't touch
He got
it.
our ass. He pretended to do it. He got.
That was very sneaky.
Yes.
Very sneaky.
I think Christopher's out of the will now, right?
Yeah, I'm probably out of the will.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's all going to the younger son, Michael, YSM.
Zaz, so where are we with the Panthers? I feel like consensus in my Panther group chats, there's no panic.
I'm in one of your chats.
Oh, that's true. You're in that one. In the main Panther chat that I'm in, it seems like the third period made Panther fans feel at ease with this is going to be a long series. We're fine.
When you know what? When they were down 4-1, that was not the Panthers that I've seen most of the season and through
We were
last year's
terrible.
playoffs. They were awful. They were disjointed. Bob let in a couple of bad goals. The Panthers I saw come back from 4-1 down and make it a game. That was the Panthers I know. If I'm a Panthers fan, I'm not the least bit worried. I think they're going to win Wednesday night. Then they got 2 at home. No panic whatsoever.
Wow.
I think if you were to ask Panther fans today how they feel going forward the remainder of the series, I think there's still a ton of confidence. I think if you ask the Maple Leaf fan how they feel right now, they're certainly very happy that they're up 1-0, but I think they're also like, yeah, that we might have gotten a little bit lucky here with what took place. I thought the Panthers were totally going to come back in the third period and win that game. They were so, like, the Panther fan looks at that and knows they didn't play well. Does the Maple Leaf fan say, wow, we didn't play well? I don't think so. I think the Maple Leaf fan is really pleased that they got out of there with that win. Everybody knows Seth Jones, my dog. He played like a spaz last night, all right? Kulikov, very bad. Mikula, very bad.
Mikula.
Barkov with the turnover, which led to a scoring chance. Barkov taking a penalty. Even in the third period, when the Panthers are rolling and they make it 4-3, they still went and took 2 more penalties after that and gave up another goal off a turnover. So even in their best period, they were still crap, and they were right there at the end. So Dan Zazzle's going to be enraged with the Panthers. I'm moderately annoyed right now at last night's game.
Also, for context, remember how last year's second round started?
Yeah.
The Panthers had home ice
And that
against
game was at home.
Boston.
Yeah.
They lost.
They lost
Got
6-1.
killed.
They got
Killed.
crushed
Right.
6-1. This is a different scenario because you're just looking to win one and steal home ice advantage. Your fourth line barely plays last night. They just stopped playing AJ Greer's probably for the best. Wouldn't surprise me at all if Mackey comes back. But right now the Leafs fans, they're happy that they won. They kind of feel like they survived one. It also feels like
There's
there's
no
a
way
little,
they feel great.
No, which is why they're trying so hard to get Sam Bennett suspended for.
Yes.
There's no way.
It appears that
suspended. No
Stolarz
way.
and Chris Nowinski, who once joined the show before and charged the Dolphins with murder or manslaughter.
Former WWE superstar.
Yeah, Chris Harvard. He theorized, which actually makes sense, that Stolarz got concussed initially on the shot from Sam Bennett, or was it Sam Reinhart, that hit Stolarz in the mask, knocked his mask off. Because I think Sam Bennett is a victim of his reputation. We know when Sam Bennett is trying to do something, it looked like a fairly innocuous hit. Stolarz's mask came off.
He barely touched him.
I call it a graze.
It looked like a dive initially, but I think.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and also if there was something behind it, Toronto, those Maple Leafs players would have went at Bennett in that moment. It was that innocuous in the moment, but everyone now is supporting the Toronto Maple Leafs, is trying to suspend Sam Bennett for something that I don't think actually caused the concussion.
The guy was vomiting on the bench. Something caused the concussion.
Clearly concussed,
Right.
but I don't think it was that interaction with Bennett, the one that everyone's pointing to, that they allege is a dirty hit because they don't want to go back and say, hey, this came out of the run of play. This was a shot off his face mask.
That's the main thing why I don't believe Bennett's getting suspended. Number one, it's if you look at that play, just isolate that one play. That is not a play that gets you suspended in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's number one.
It wasn't even a play that got Toronto to defend their goalie.
Yeah, and again, no penalty. All right, now I understand Ekblad got banned 2 games, no penalty. But this, there's nothing there. The second part is, if they were to suspend Bennett, they are acknowledging that they allowed a player who was concussed earlier in the game to remain in the game for another 9 minutes of real time. That's what they would be acknowledging if they're going to suspend Sam Bennett there. There's no... I'll go as far as to say I don't think they're going to even have a hearing.
Well, you don't think that they'll allege that the concussion did... If they suspend Sam Bennett, then they're going to say that the concussion came from that fairly innocuous hit in the crease, a hit so innocuous that none of his Maple Leafs teammates came to back him up.
So they're just going to ignore the puck to the head.
Right. We'll know about it, but they'll just kind of assume they have public support on this.
I'd be stunned.
Okay, I predict that Sam Bennett will be suspended. Yeah,
Do you agree, though?
For what?
Yeah, I do, because it's an elbow to the head.
But he tucked it in, but he didn't even give him one of those.
I think it's enough for a suspension.
I think you call it a push at max.
Yes.
A graze.
Okay, I
there's
don't.
no punch or elbow thrown there.
I won't be pleased to be the one right here, but I think he will be suspended and probably should be. But the Panthers are so good they can overcome Sam Bennett missing a game. If their penalty kill stays the way they dominated Tampa, they were 5 for 5 last night.
Can I just stop all of you just for a second? Because I will concede to you that what I'm hearing in this room feels like a whole lot of Panther fans perfectly fine with what happened with the Florida Panthers last night. Zaz going as far as to say that the Toronto fan doesn't feel that good about that because of how it played out. And I would say the reason that I fear teams like Winnipeg and Toronto and Washington, and I fear everyone, it seems like, is because hockey is going to hockey. And I know the Panthers have the best team, but shit happens. And then you're down 1-0 to a Toronto team that is good enough, could have gotten knocked out in the first round, but that's a scary team. And so I don't feel good about that. And Sam Bennett possibly being suspended because, as you guys have the sports argument, They've got a concussion problem throughout sports. And whether it was or wasn't what caused the concussion, Sam Bennett's reputation is that's the dirtiest, and the Panthers are the dirtiest. And what happens when Sam Bennett does that is the entirety of the internet hockey world that isn't a Florida Panther says, those people down there in Florida are kind of scumbags, and you guys are like, but they're ours.
I'll wear it.
But they're ours.
I don't care. I'll wear it.
The other thing I would factor in is that you want to protect the goalie. Okay, you protect that goalie. That's his crease. And when you have somebody throwing an elbow at a goalie's
Throwing
hand,
an elbow.
I don't agree with that.
Have you watched the replay?
Yeah, I have watched the replay.
They collided, but like I understand what you're saying. You don't want that happening to your goalie. You know who doesn't want that happening to their goalie the most? The Toronto Maple Leafs that are on the ice.
Right.
Nobody came to his defense because it was that innocuous. If you actually watch the play, Bennett actually tucks his elbow in, trying to avoid Stolarz. The concussion, I would bet my life, didn't happen on that play. It happened when he took a puck to the face that knocked his helmet off.
Okay.
And he probably really felt it off of a fairly innocuous hit that got him loopy. He was probably feeling loopy well before that.
Okay, I'm not predicting a suspension or saying what I'm saying as a fan because I'm not a fan. I'm neutral here, and I wonder.
Three journalists here in this room,
and I wonder how the rest of you would feel if a Maple Leafs elbow had given.
If I saw the replay and there was no extension of the elbow, it's just like
If Bobrovsky's vomiting on the bench and he's perhaps out of the next game, you want someone suspended.
I'd be calling for the death penalty.
I understand what you're saying, but I also think this is where our Panthers fandom actually helps contextualize this because we were paying attention to what happened earlier in the game. And we're pretty aware that that was a wicked shot that he took off his face mask.
Right.
And we also know that when Sam Bennett means to hit somebody dirty, he commits to hitting somebody dirty. The elbow doesn't go in. The elbow goes out. And I just think if he got suspended, it would be really unfortunate and it would be the league bending to pressure because he has this reputation.
I don't even think there's going to be a hearing. I think it's a waste of everybody's time.
Straight to the gallows.
Of course we're talking about this because it's Toronto and they're maniacs up there in Canada, and it's Sam Bennett who has the reputation. I don't even think there's going to be a hearing. Stop wasting my time.
Emily Kaplan has tweeted this morning, nothing confirmed yet, but I don't believe Sam Bennett will receive supplement discipline for his contact with Stolarz.
He's not. I'm reporting it. Put it on the crawl on ESPN. I'm reporting.
Well,
no discipline.
This is why he's a rising star at ESPN.
Put it on the crawl.
He just said to everybody, there will be no hearing. He's like, suspend him, and he runs with the torches. The internet says Sam Bennett's dirty, and Zaslow's Judge Zaz, who doesn't want Judge Zaz of sports?
I am a judge.
That Judge Zaz saying to you the thing you always want to hear about around the best sporting events, hearings. Zaslow says there will not. He is saying there will not even. Never mind.
Don't waste my time.
Never mind an investigation. No, there will be no investigation. There's video out there. Everybody's screaming.
What did you investigate? I saw it.
Not even a hearing.
Nope. Stop wasting my time.
Who's going to be right between Zaslow doesn't get a hearing, stop wasting my time, and Greg Cody, virtue signaler, it looked like an elbow, and we don't like concussion, suspend him.
Can it be as simple as if the Panthers come back and win last night, he probably gets suspended, and since they lost, like to balance things out? I thought that's what happened with Tampa.
But that's the other thing about what happened last night. Oh, you guys got all cocky because here comes Florida doing what they do. Yes, on the momentum of a dirty hit.
I mean, what happened to Tampa was obvious. Aaron Ekblad went to kill Brendan Hagel because Hagel was super dirty earlier in the series.
Right, they missed the call. It was still so on purpose.
Not some two-faced hypocrite. Like we were saying, Ekblad should be suspended for that. That was with intention, and you're damn right it was intentional because he was defending his guy.
Yep.
This was not a concussion that was delivered by Sam Bennett in that moment. It just wasn't.
Yeah, you can't say that it's all Panther, fans here who are defending Sam Bennett in that spot when we're all readily admitting, I get Ekblad being suspended. Makes sense. But here in this spot, it's like, no, that's not a suspension.
Okay, but I would ask you guys to consider if you realize that you're in the most magical place that there is in sports and the closest thing we've had in this city to this than when the Miami Heat were dominating this town for 15 years. Your team, a relevant one, your team, a champion, is despised by and respected and despised by people in hockey because the way they play in the playoffs is so physical that when Sam Bennett is dirty, no one is surprised and can see optical illusions, and no one would be surprised because, yeah, the Panthers are dirty and they are dirty, and what are you going to do about it? Are you going to suspend them? Because we'll take the suspension on Ekblad and the hit. Yep. You know why? Because we wanted him to do that. Because this sport, that cost a goal, did it not? What happened with Ekblad, everyone supported, even though they acknowledged what Ekblad did was whatever, morally right in defense of the Panthers, but also it was costly. The penalty for it was costly.
They scored 2 goals in 11 seconds after Ekblad delivered that hit. And then Ekblad, I believe, scored later on.
He ended up, not only did they not call a penalty on Ekblad on that play,
but
he went on to have maybe the most impactful game he's ever had as a Panther, taking that guy out for our captain and then scoring the game-tying goal.
We've probably spent too much time on Sam Bennett because I just flatly don't think anything nefarious happened there.
Nothing's happening.
But for me, the headline is Florida played very poorly. They were sloppy. They were sliding into their own guys. There were bad giveaways in their own zone. The fourth-line wingers don't appear to be a fit for this specific series.
Seth Jones was a spaz last
Barkov was bad. Seth Jones was a mixed experience. Verhaeghe has been frustrating people. I actually didn't think that he was that bad. Brad Marchand was actually really good on the night.
That's my dog.
So
That's
my
rat right there.
So I think Florida's well positioned, and also the elephant in the room today that we should be discussing is the fact that heavy is that crest for Toronto. They could be up 2-0. They could be up 3-0. The sphincters in that collective province of Ontario are going to be this tight because the Toronto Maple Leafs just struggle when they're on the front foot.
I'd like some help from Greg Cody on this because I don't know where the line is on Mike Ryan's appraisal that Seth Jones is, I think, a mixed experience or a mixed bag experience. I missed it, but as you were saying it, Zaz was calling him a spaz. So what is the difference? Like, what is the line? I don't know hockey well enough to know the difference between a mixed experience and a spaz because when I saw Seth Jones play, I just thought he was kind of average.
I mean, he scored a goal and he broke up a breakaway. Like, he had very good moments in that game.
A spaz is what he called it.
He also had some weird turnovers. Like, he had some weird passes.
He's spinning, he's doing like spinneroonies and losing the puck. That's a spaz.
Well, back in my day, the word spaz was derogatory. I think.
You think I'm saying it as a compliment right now?
Apparently not. I think Seth Jones has been a great addition. Naturally, Brad Marchand gets all the attention as far as their late season addition. Seth Jones has been great. He's a reason that they're doing what they're doing right now. He's been great.
What are we asking Juju's opinion on? I would defer to him on style matters here. I don't know that he would think that many of us have any style.
He can start with Tony's outfit from yesterday.
Nah, I'm gonna start with what Dan just said. Yeah, you're exactly correct, big brother. Now one of y'all got no style at all. I seen the video that Jessica Smetana put up yesterday. 0 sauce from everybody in the video except Jessica. She rated herself a 7. I think he was in the 11 at least.
An 11?
My boy Tony, he had a Budweiser.
He was a disaster.
Well, Tony, let's get this out.
At least they took a picture of him. At least he was invited to the. Yeah. Don't get me started on that.
No, Juju.
10 Americans.
Juju.
10 Americans.
Juju. I asked where you were yesterday.
10.
I didn't understand.
My flight got booked. The hour y'all got finished with that mother. I mean,
Juju.
Good
all right, Juju. That's a scheduling problem. That is not personal.
Y'all ain't no scheduling problem when y'all need posts. When I need a post, it get posted. Ain't no scheduling problem then. The scheduling problem get me out the picture. Salute to everybody. I love everybody. I love the picture, man.
All right.
Whatever.
I love you too, man. I love you too, Juju.
I don't love the picture, man. You was okay.
He was just. Man, it was good. I thought it was good.
Juju, I appreciate your grievances. I am sorry. You should have been a part of the team photo. That it was an error.
Am I on the team or not, Dan?
You are on the team, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
There,
Well.
Get the guy back. The press box has changed.
But Mike said it best. The press box has changed. I mean, seriously, get over yourself. We're
Chris
going
said
to
it.
talk during the post game. Tim Reynolds,
Fine.
enough. I mean, enough.
I mean,
seriously.
you just got to know when
You're
the
not
Dan Le-
allowed to cheer in the press box. Did you know that?
Well,
That's
I
a
did.
They
cardinal
were cheering for
rule in
Will
baseball.
Manso. I think that's allowed.
And Goldie. Yeah.
If the Dan Le Batard Show comes to a hockey press box, hilarity is going to ensue.
Yeah.
They're going to yell at Will Manso for 7 minutes, and you're probably going to have to go to a
7
stairwell
seconds.
to write, man. Like, it's just...
If it was 7 minutes, I'd get it. It was
is what it
7
is.
seconds.
Exactly. I mean, David, everyone else was saying hi. They were enjoying the show. They were laughing at us. But one guy is still clutching on to his newspaper deadline.
I'm a little
and it's
disappointed.
Tim Reynolds.
And is he your demographic, Stu?
I don't know.
I happen to like Tim a lot, and
Enough of
I
him.
imagine this was going to be like E.J. Raddick or something, but that's just a bad look for Tim Reynolds.
Listen, I went
glad
up
you
to him
appreciate that.
afterwards. I went up to him afterwards.
This was the best part. Stugotz
Yes.
is like, I've known Tim for years. I'm going to go
Yeah.
fix this. He walked to Tim and walked right back very quickly.
Yep.
It was a very quick interaction.
Well, he was writing. Okay?
He's on deadline. It's
Enough of the deadline.
It's a
No,
work.
don't defend him.
I gotta get home. I feel like playoff hockey. I gotta get home. I mean,
Yeah, we're on deadline too. We got to get that post game out.
It is a working press box. Tim Reynolds is a journalist who's trying to write, and Stugotz is back there. Hey, Will Manso!
that was Chris and Goldie. Don't leave out Goldie.
We're on deadline too. They're going to kick us out of that press box a lot sooner than they'll kick out Tim Reynolds, who's just typing away. That's just
Those writers had their game stories done before the end of the game.
Precisely.
Yeah, a good writer, right?
Oh,
What happened there? I apologized to him. I went out. I've known Tim for decades. I mean, Cody was done. He was out of there. I mean, you know.
What was that interaction like, Stugotz? Take us behind the scenes. You walk up to him, you say what, he says what.
I said, Tim, I apologize. That's on me. I should know better. Not Chris, okay? I should know better. I've been in press boxes before. I know you have a deadline. I apologize. And he said, that's fine. Just, try to keep it down.
That is way too long.
That was
Way
much
too
longer
long.
than the actual
He's on
conversation.
deadline.
I always extend it a little
Can we
bit.
call,
I mean, you guys
can we
know that.
call Tim Reynolds and just ask him about what the
Don't,
interaction was
no,
like?
no.
Greg Cody's back in my day. Seeds.
Seeds. Seeds. Had a slice of watermelon lately? Popped a few grapes in your maw? Then you probably notice seeds are disappearing from fruit. And you probably see this as a good thing just because it makes life a little easier. We love us some convenience. In fact, it's a terrible thing, the de-seeding of us. Symbolically alone, the seed is the king of life. Adam gave his to Eve, and here we are, if you believe the story. If they take the seed out of humans the way we have watermelons, we're all dead ducks. Beans, peas, rice, coffee, corn, all seeds. Flour and oil started as seeds. All hail seeds. So what the hell is happening? In exchange for convenience, we are not valuing the seed's impact on health, biodiversity, and our food system. The genetic variability of most plants require seeds as essential to their evolution. De-seeded, artificially homogenized fruits rely on human intervention in the reproductive process, exposing the fruits to many pathogens. Plainly put, seedless fruits are not as good for you. They contain less fiber and have fewer minerals and vitamins than their seeded natural brethren. Seedless fruits also have fewer antioxidants, plant-based nutrients, and anti-inflammatory properties. But enough about this science. Bring back seeds because seeds are fun. Not to mention aesthetically and visually pleasing. Kids growing up today have sliced open a watermelon, have never sliced open a watermelon, and experienced the joy of seeing that juicy red flesh dotted with embedded black seeds. Nellie Doogie used to tell us if we swallowed a watermelon seed, a big melon would grow on our belly. It wasn't true. But as kids would make a competition out of seed spitting. You extracted the big seeds from the melon flesh. Tongue only, never fingers or a utensil, and you'd see who could project a seed the farthest. Every summer we did that. This was before video games, kids. Made our own games and toys. Flew a kite, kicked a can, spit a seed. Grapes were the real challenge because the seeds were so much smaller. We'd both pop a grape in our mouth, tongue moving, jaws in action, and whoever could spit out 3 seeds onto the table the fastest won. To this day, I carve real pumpkins and eschew the free fab foam and plastic fakes, mainly for the treasure trove of seeds inside. Hundreds and hundreds of them waiting to be scraped out, cleaned, and roasted in the oven to become delicious natural snacks. Respect, worship, and bring back the seeds. I need a t-shirt that says convenience is overrated. Insist to your local grocer that you'll take your watermelon seeded, please, and the grapes too. I'm Greg Cody, and that's how it was back in my day.
Yep. Journalism is dead.
But journalism, as we know it, as you know it, what you wanted to do when you were a little kid, okay? It has changed. It has. It's changed, okay? You're not wrong. Stephen A. Smith is not wrong. You have to adapt sometimes, okay? Because the game has changed. Your priorities have shifted. No one cares how someone goes and gets the news that they get as long as the news is accurate, as long as it's coming from a credible place. If it's Woj, if it's Adam Schefter, if it's you, if it's Diana Rossini, if it's Shams, nobody cares. You might care. Greg Cody might care. Stephen A. Smith might care. But you know what? You all sold out. Every single one of you, okay? Stephen A. Smith jumped inside the circus tent. I don't blame him. Why'd he do it? Because he had to do it. Because the game has changed. You jumped inside the circus tent. You did. You did so with me. Think about that. With me and with Greg Cody every Tuesday, okay? And so you have ditched journalism a long, long time ago because why? Survival of the fittest, Dan. You have to change with the times. You have to roll with the changing environment, roll with the changing industry, and that's what you decided to do. That's what Stephen A. decided to do. And for Woj, for guys like him, the game has changed slightly, where he went out and he seeked reports, and he wanted to be the reporter. And you know what? If now he has morphed into a mouthpiece for the Blazers, I'm okay with it. I am good with it. I don't care.
Survival of the fattest.
Everyone, exactly. Everyone is selling out to make a buck.
What a terrible timing.
It was great.
Like that joke.
Hey, just give it up. You all want to be journalists. You're not journalists anymore. None of you. Not a one of you. Sorry.
You didn't even hear the joke.
I did. Survival of the fattest. It was great.
It just could have been done after Stugotz stopped talking, Dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoehorn that
But
in.
I'm okay.
You're splitting hairs.
Right.
Okay.
You adapt, you roll with things, man. That's it. You know, Dan, you started off, you know, if you're a driver, you drove a yellow cab and you were loyal to the yellow cab. You know what? But the game has changed to Uber, to Lyft, to private driving. And you know what? You have to ditch the yellow cab and you have to drive an Uber. Why? Because you'll make more money. Why? Because more people are taking Uber than the dirty yellow cabs. That's why. That's what you do. No one cares about journalism. You know what they care about? Laughing, being entertained. And you do a great job of that. And Stephen A. Smith does a great job of that. No one cares about journalism. People care about smiling. That's it.
You know, this morning I found myself while I was driving Claire to school. I told her, you know, you ask a lot of questions. You should be a journalist. And now here in this conversation, I just, you know what? Don't be a journalist. Like,
exactly.
Do something else.
It's over.
Sad.
You're going to let Stugotz parent your daughter. You think that's a good idea?
You think journalism is a good occupation to choose now?
No, I would not. Listen, not only is it not a good occupation to choose, I have looked around Miami and realized we're the only ones providing the jobs we're presently providing. I heard local TV reporters are making $45,000 a year.
Huh.
I couldn't believe that. That's how bad local television is struggling. That's the place that has arrived.
This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Greg Cody, are you ready to go? Your headset is not on.
I am ready.
What are you doing? You seem very busy here. We've got
I'm researching.
You were researching?
Yeah.
Did you find out things that will be useful on the program?
I am preparing, yes.
Okay.
We do have an
Doing
update.
Due diligence.
We do have an update. Multiple NHL insiders, including lead NHL insider for The Athletic, are reporting that it's not expected that Sam Bennett faces any discipline.
Oh, wow. I
But
mean, it's
Zaz
not like I
reported
just
that.
said it.
Yeah, Zaz reported it earlier.
That's breaking
Did you
news.
report it?
Yeah.
That's breaking news.
Yeah. I'm a journalist, and I also let you guys know I'm a judge. And I told you that.
Okay, can I make one thing clear? These are not reports saying he will not be suspended.
I will read you the reports.
Okay.
It's Emily Kaplan, very
wait a minute.
reputable.
That was not a report either, what she said.
Hold on. Just, Mike, I need to please, if you don't mind, okay, because the tension between Cody and Zaslow is real, and where they identify as journalists, it's real. Greg Cody is going to be proven to be instantaneously wrong in his opinion that Sam Bennett will be suspended, and therefore he's going to ask follow-up questions so he can be less wrong.
So the first report from Emily Kaplan, she goes out of her way to say nothing confirmed yet. So it feels more like an opinion, but I don't believe Sam Bennett will receive supplemental discipline for his contact with Anthony Stolarz in Game 1.
Okay, instead of telling us you don't believe, how about telling us when you know?
Okay, why do we keep skipping over things that are believed and things that are opinions when I reported? It was
Based
like
on
30
what,
minutes
Judge?
ago.
Your Honor.
Hold
Based
on
on
a
what?
second.
His
Hold on a
eyes.
second. If you reported something, do you think I would have the gall to say based on what, or I would trust your sources as a journalist? No, that's very insulting. I reported like 25 minutes ago that Sam Bennett will not be suspended, and I also reported there won't even be a hearing. So what are we still doing?
You reported that based on what, though?
Hold on a second. I just told you I would never tell you my sources.
Okay.
I would
You
never.
didn't even quote a source.
He broke that news, Greg. That happened on the show when you were trying to figure out what the sound was on your computer.
Yeah.
That's my report.
That's already been exposed as a fraud.
Greg, when it was exposed on a fraud, I just lit up the video department. Just went in there in a rage because I'm like, please tell me you got the spit take in the kitchen that I did. And all they got was that I was cleaning up the coffee.
Oh, boy.
Because when they got you on that prank, an excellent prank, I did a spit take that spit coffee cartoonishly all over the kitchen. I made a substantive mess.
Did you clean it up?
I did. Yeah, that's what they got. They got the picture of me cleaning it up.
This one's a little bit stronger from Chris Johnston of The Athletic. Sam Bennett is not expected to face any supplemental discipline for his hit on Anthony Stolarz during last night's game, per sources.
Okay, not expected.
Is that a report?
That is, he cites
He's
sources.
reporting on his sources.
Oh, okay. The sources are telling him we don't expect him to be suspended,
Which is
not the
something.
same
What
as
if they
will not be suspended?
What if they expected it though?
Again, that report right there, that's a journalist, just like me, all right? That guy is saying not expected.
Right.
I've already told you it's not happening.
Man, information people are valuable. Information is currency. You see what's happening with Adam Schefter. What? You laugh. Zaslow's to news first. It's why he's a rising star at ESPN. And I'd argue, a rising star in the journalism business because he breaks news like that. 30 minutes ago, he told you.
I don't know why you're laughing. I mean, that feels insulting. I don't know what you're doing there.
I'll give you an example. It was widely reported that the championship race was coming back to Homestead for the NASCAR Cup Series, but it was only until this morning, 8 minutes ago, where it's been finally confirmed by ESPN. That's not good enough for me. We're gonna have Ryan Blay on in a couple minutes. I'm gonna ask him directly to further confirm what's been talked about openly.
Sure.
As a journalist, when we find out later in the day, like the NHL announces there will be, because that the NHL announces there will be no disciplinary action, not even a hearing for Sam Bennett. It's also going to say on television on ESPN, as first reported by Jonathan Zaslow on the Dan Le Batard Show.
Okay.
Because as a journalist, you give
you
credit to other journalists.
I will give you that $100 bill I didn't have to give Dan if ESPN reports that you broke that story.
Well, I don't have control of that, but that would be bad journalism if I don't get credit. I don't have control of what other people do, Greg.
ESPN famously doesn't credit people all of the time. They have to give Zaslow credit for it to be a breaking report that you respect?
And by the way the NHL...
Can you answer my question? I know you wanted to make your own point about the NHL.
Okay, he didn't make a report.
Yes, sir.
He gave his opinion.
Should I do it again? I'll do it again to clarify.
He made a report. There wouldn't even be
an opinion.
There
that
wouldn't
he would
even
not
be.
just like I gave an opinion that he would be.
He's gaslighting you.
Should we clarify? Like I can do it again right now. Just everybody's ears are open. And,
Okay, go ahead. Do it again.
I am reporting. Which is that my camera? I am reporting.
My opinion. I am reporting.
No. That's
Don't
your
talk
report.
over his report,
That's
man.
your report. My report is that Sam Bennett will not be suspended and won't even have a disciplinary hearing with the NHL because it's a waste of everyone's time. I am reporting that. So when it is confirmed by the league later on today, Zaslow had it first.
He
Props
did.
to
It's
Zaslow.
indisputable. Everyone heard it live. We were first to this.
I'm still
First of
unclear
all-
on gaslighting.
First of all, the way the NHL usually works is that if he's not suspended, they're not going to report he is not being suspended. If he were being suspended, that is something they would
I don't have control
announce
over that.
officially.
We will get back to this, I'm sure, many times over because these two do not think of journalism the same. But I
don't call it a report when I'm just giving my opinion. I didn't report that he
wasn't
would
my
be
opinion.
suspended.
That wasn't my opinion.
I didn't.
He
report.
reported it correctly.
Okay,
He got it. He got the.
It hadn't been announced yet. It's not known yet.
It will be known, and you will be instantaneously wrong because you didn't believe his report. Like
It wasn't a report.
Let me explain to
It
you
was
the difference
his opinion.
between a report and opinion. Let me explain to you.
Okay,
It's journalism
please.
right
Yeah.
Can you
here.
explain what a
please do.
gaslight is
It's
first?
journalism right here. My opinion is that he should not be suspended. That's an opinion.
Okay.
I learned that in journalism school, University of Florida. My report is that he will not be suspended, and there won't even be a hearing.
Okay, based on
my sources.
that's where he's got you.
Okay, but in journalism, if you cite a source, even if you don't name him or her,
I would never do that.
Right, of course, because you're a journalist.
I would go to prison before I named
But
the source.
it's still usually it's de rigueur in journalism.
And
that
now you're using words I don't understand.
when you're citing,
He went to Santa Fe. You
when
gotta
you're
relax.
citing a source, generally you say a source within the NHL front office, or you say a Panthers source. You cite someone.
I do things differently.
Okay, that's fine. And by the way, I want to make it clear, I have no vested interest in this. I'm fine if Sam Bennett doesn't get suspended. More power to him.
Sounds like this is a house money game for Bennett, right? Like, he just do whatever he wants. He should be suspended. Like, go crazy, right?
You know, if he throws an elbow at the other goalie and he doesn't get suspended, more power to him.
Amin, Ryan Blaney is joining us now. I'm sorry that happened to you, Amin. I'm sorry.
What happened?
I want to hug him. He had a very small window to do something there. I am now officially, and our show is officially friends with Ryan Blaney because we are now into racing. It's been fairly shocking. We've
been into racing for a long time.
We have been?
Race. It was a race joke. You've been
Okay.
into racing for a long time.
Okay, thank you. You think that Ryan Blaney got that, or you think
That was for you.
Okay, thank you. But we're onboarding a guest here. I appreciate you making a private joke about race.
All aboard.
But all aboard is
Yeah,
what you just
said onboarding. I'm like, all aboard? Ryan Blaney's stepping onto the SS Le Batard.
He really deserves a better intro.
The Codys, ladies and gentlemen, they're sore from dancing this weekend. I've got a heavy-tongued producer. Ryan Blaney, do you ever have a family around you that you've been carrying in your economy that burdens you every day?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. That's a heck of an intro. I appreciate it. Back on the show. Thanks again for having me. No, luckily I have not had a family member who has burdened me too much.
Okay, I go ahead, Zaz.
Do you ever find any of the guys on your team, they talk too much in your ear while you're just trying to concentrate on racing?
You know, I sometimes I feel like I've kind of always been one that prefers silence over too much talking. I like communication when it's helpful, but sometimes it's just talking just to talk. But no, I'm not going to call anybody out. But I think we've all had that to where it's like, what's the point of this conversation going? And are you just saying words just to say them? But luckily, I don't have to deal with that too much.
Hold on. So you're telling me that your communication with your team is such in the panic and the heat of all these moments, and you need silence, that you've never in all of your life led your team by yelling back, "Hey, somebody shut up! Shut up! Somebody's talking too much. Shut up!"
I won't say I don't go about it in that way. I think I just say like less talking, and that's really all, and then it gets resolved.
So the last
You
time
never want to yell at anybody, right? I mean, you're all out of group, and you know, it's just like, all right, less talking, and then we can go on.
The last time we spoke, it was before Homestead, and I asked you, do you think a meteor is going to strike your car? And you said something to the effect of, well, I don't think I'd be that surprised the way that the season's going. You were running a great race at Homestead, and then your car just blew up when you were leading the pack. And since then, your luck has somehow got worse. So, Ryan Blaney, same question. For Kansas this weekend, are you going to get struck by a meteor?
You know what? I think, I was watching the replay from Homestead, and I mean, call me crazy. I feel like a meteor went through our grill and hit the radiator and made the car blow up. So I think you spoke that one into existence. So if you want to say a lightning strike, and if I get struck by lightning, then I think you're the say all end all, and you can pretty much judge the future. But hopefully it gets a little better. It's gotten a little bit better, which is nice. We've been able to actually finish some races, so that's good. So it's a start. Hopefully that continues.
You were really hard on yourself because it does feel like the pendulum's swinging a little bit in your favor. But Texas Motor Speedway, a lot of people are talking about that track, that it's terrible. There were cars just spinning out because they were just driving. And you had single car accidents, and it was just such a random race. You were highly critical of Texas Motor Speedway, saying it's probably the worst track. How do you, when you're going through such a difficult stretch, and there are certain things that are out of your control, and you start going the way, when things start trending a little bit more positive, in your mind, are you kind of thinking, well, what can possibly go wrong now?
I try not to think that way, like what can go wrong next. I really try not to be that way. But it always is like in the back of your head, right? Like, all right, what's next? Like we got nothing really can seem to go right, and what's going to happen next. But I try not to be that way. But it's hard not to sometimes. But yeah, Texas, this past weekend that place is tough, man. It's they repaved it, about I think like 2017, and just the surface, with racetracks, like when you repave, the racetrack takes a while to kind of age to where you can race on it competitively, like at the speeds we are, to get the track wide. It just is tough to do, and that place just does not age. So it's just kind of a single lane, maybe two lanes, and if you step a foot, you're wrecking, and it's just a hard place to race and pass. And I think that's what kind of gets drivers frustrated when there's nowhere to go and move around, and drivers get frustrated by it. The fans, obviously, it's not a good show for the fans to watch. So hopefully they can figure something out for that place to make it a little bit better, because it needs something done to it.
Ryan, if I could get a little more help from you to make this just a little bit newsier, can you just follow me down this path and not think it got you journalism? Has Ryan Blaney ever said, when talking back to his crew, and saying less talking, is it more often than not, less talking, Carl? Like it's one guy, and it's not all of them. It's one guy on your team, and it's always Carl.
Man, you're hung up on this one. Yeah, no, it's not just one guy.
So it's
it can be multiple.
It's unfortunate.
But
it's unfortunate.
I know you're trying to get me to
I
call
just
somebody
thought.
out,
I just want. No. I don't even know if you have a Carl. I'm not trying to get you to get anybody. But when you talk about things happening to your car, do you have a worst ever experience in your car?
I mean, when they catch on fire, it's not fun. That sometimes happens. So that's probably the worst. I mean, we wreck and stuff, and some wrecks are harder than others, but like fire, I think, right, everyone is afraid of it. It's nothing you can really do about it, except for get away from it as soon as you can. And it kind of takes us a while to get out of the car or get stopped. And so that's the worst case scenario is catching on fire. And then just it kind of goes into panic mode. But yeah, that's something we try to avoid.
I know that you, Ryan, are probably very excited about the Netflix series coming out. So when you watch it back, is there any moments that you think back and you're like, man, I wonder if Carl said this about me behind the scenes, and I really want to watch Netflix to see the real story of what went on that day? And like, do you think you're going to catch anyone in anything? Have you been anticipating any moments where you're like, I wonder what really happened there? Let me see if I can catch them in something.
Yeah, I think so. I'm excited for that to come out. It comes out tomorrow, May 7th. And season 2, it's going to be really fun. I've seen little bits of it. I didn't want to watch the whole thing yet before it came out. But I know the stuff that I was in, right? I was there for it. And I know kind of how all that went. But other guys, like they interview other drivers or things like that. I am curious about, how do they think of a certain situation that they were in? Whether I'm involved in it or not. Like, I wonder kind of how they thought about that. So I am curious to see from that side because I don't know what anyone else is thinking, and you never know what's going to come out. But the bits I've seen, it's really, really good. I know people like the first season, and I think this one was even better from the clips I've seen of it. So they did a good job. I appreciate Netflix for doing that and showing like an inside look of the drivers, the teams, the week-to-week stuff, the highs and the lows of the sport. That's always interesting for people to see. And, you've seen it a lot with other sports, from the quarterback show, receiver, full swing. I think it's you got to give people more and more of like showing a little bit more behind the scenes. And I think this show definitely does that.
I would never. You're an honest man, obviously, a very honest man. You're on the up and up. You would never do anything to skirt the rules in NASCAR. But NASCAR, notoriously, teams try to get around the rules a little bit, right? Which is why you guys have so many different checks on the different cars. And even after you check the car, maybe you go and like, oh, well, let me see if we can tweak this, tweak that, kind of get around the rules. I wouldn't call you a cheater. You're not. You're an honest man. But those dirty rod cheaters that you race against, I mean, they're up to something. You think watching the show, you're going to be able to find out maybe some tricks of the trade, maybe some things that they're doing to their cars that you can implement on your cars, or is it not helpful in that way?
At NASCAR, and honestly, motorsports in general is a unique sport from that regard. Like the gray area.
You're all cheaters.
The rule book.
Not you, but everyone.
Everyone is.
Not
right?
you.
Everyone is. There it is. That's
Except
what I was
you.
looking
Yeah,
for.
not
Everyone
you.
is.
I mean, that's what
everyone
a cheater.
Does. Everyone's a cheater.
Yeah. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
That's good journalism, Billy. Good journalism. He said it.
It's
finally.
only cheating if you get caught.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. And it's different than other sports, right? Like, there's controversy in, other sports, what is like in the rule book or not, or what's in that gray area. Our sport just has a bigger gray area because the cars, there's so many things on them that there's only so many rules, and everyone always tries to manipulate, little things. But I'll tell you, to answer your question on if I would learn something from watching the show on that regard, no. If you're pushing the gray area, there's no cameras around. They're not going to film that. So that stuff gets done in a dark room in the back of race shops, and no one ever knows about it but that team.
Have you ever considered taking steroids?
No, that would not help me at all.
I mean, aesthetically, like for appearance.
What do you mean? You'd be
appearance?
Yeah,
just for
appearance. Yeah, I would love to break out, and
What do you mean?
I think I think everyone would know something's up, dude. I'm a tiny guy. I walk around like a $140, and if I all of a sudden showed up weighing like 170, 180, just juice to the gills, I think people would know what's up. So no, I would not do that stuff.
But would that be a problem?
It would be a competitive advantage.
But would that be a problem? Like, who cares if they notice that you're looking kind of jacked? Who cares?
I do.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. You might care.
I don't want to be pumping that stuff in me.
All right. Well, you might, and that might be for health reasons, or you might not care about the look of someone cheating by using steroids. But I would like everyone at ESPN and Fox and everywhere else to grab the sound of Ryan Blaney. We got the gotcha journalism. It was from the journalist Billy Gill that got him to say it. Ryan Blaney, as Miami Homestead comes to town, and he's bringing the whole, as this whole thing comes to Miami.
Well, next year for the championship race.
Ryan Blaney.
We need him to confirm those reports, though.
We'll get to that in a second. But
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney, before he does that, has said everyone in his sport is cheating. That's news.
Hey, man, everyone does. Everybody does.
Double
this
down.
is part of it.
What would be
Part
the
of it.
advantage of juicing? And what, if that's not really a competitive advantage, what is considered a competitive performance enhancer in NASCAR other than what you can do to the car? Like, do you have a double shot espresso and then that makes you like too rowdy? Like, how would you actually improve the driver's performance with something foreign?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. Like, I really don't know.
Like Adderall?
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Try that.
But
LASIK? Like, would
you know,
LASIK be one?
LASIK, little eye surgery. I mean, gosh, but that's not like illegal. You know, you could do that.
It could have been one day.
Right? Yeah, it could have been. But no, I really don't know. Like, I mean, getting bigger and stronger, it's like, as opposed to like, you know, when the steroid thing was big in baseball, you know, it helped those guys do what they need to do at the plate, you know, and that was beneficial for their job. But like being big and strong is not as much of it doesn't really help you any driving a race car. Like, you know, we work on different parts of our body to be efficient in the car, like, you know, a lot of heat trading and, you know, stamina, stuff like that, controlling heart rate. Like, so being like muscular and big, it wouldn't really help. So I really don't know. Like you said, LASIK might be P1, and maybe my eyes get worse every year. So I might have to jump on that train at some point.
Ryan, we just had the Miami Grand Prix down here. How would you describe the relationship between your sport and F1, and why is NASCAR better?
Yeah, I mean, hey, as a racer, I'm a fan of all types of motorsports. Like, I watch F1, I watch motocross, Indy cars, sprint cars. Like, I just like racing. And for some reason, like, it's like some fans across the country and world, like they butt heads when it comes to like, oh, this is superior. I hate this other form of racing. It's like, well, to me, if you're a fan of motorsports, you're a fan of motorsports. I mean, I'm biased that I think we put on better races as far as like passing competitive cars each week. F1 is spectacular from the engineering side. You know, the drivers are amazing. I wish F1 was a little bit more competitive on the, you know, you see more passes. You see a little bit different variation of winners. I wish F1 was a little bit different in that regard, but I respect the hell out of it and those guys that do it. But I just think we have a little bit more dynamic as far as the raceability and the excitement of cars passing each other and battles and different winners. I think people like to see that.
I don't like this. I mean, I like you, Ryan. You seem like a nice guy, but I don't like this. We're trying to make you the bad boy of motorsports here, and you're complimenting F1. I mean, it's very easy to take them out. Hey, F1, you drove 57 laps. That's a joke. Like 57 laps, get out of here, F1. Trying to get you on steroids. You don't want to take steroids. You have your foundation that helps people. Like, what's your deal, guy? Like, come on.
Come on.
Ever heard of the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt? Like, come on. Let's start scaring people.
You can't be those.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not a dick. I can't do it, man.
You curse. That's a start. We're getting there.
There it is. You know
Here
what?
we go.
Ryan Blay.
All right, Ryan. What's your favorite curse word?
Oh, man. Can I say anything on your show?
Anything you want. Yeah. Well,
Really?
nothing offensive.
Say your favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's hard to beat fuck.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Really
Hell
hard.
yeah.
It's
Fuck yeah, Ryan Blade. Yeah.
Hall of
There's
Famer.
so many different variations you can use.
What's your favorite? How do you say it?
Hey, man, I'm only going to say it once.
Oh,
Come on now.
All right.
It's usually Carl. Shut the up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say shut the F up. Dumb mother effer is probably a pretty good one.
Yeah, this guy gets
we
it.
like it.
That kind of cuts to the core.
Whoa,
So, yeah.
too far. Too far. Come on, Ryan.
Right.
Scale it back.
Well, you're not the.
Sorry.
You're considered one of the good guys of racing. There are bad boys of racing, and to your point about like performance enhancers, Denny Hamlin basically called Kyle Busch fat and out of shape by saying he's every bit the same driver he was over the last decade, but he's just got to take care of his body. So drivers do think that there's something to it, that if you're in better shape, it does bring better results in the car. I'm sure you take good care of yourself. I imagine you're kind of like-minded. That Kyle Busch is fat.
No. And y'all are trying to get me to call people fat.
No,
and
sorry.
like, you know,
I just
come
want
on
you to
now.
confirm that the championship race is coming to Homestead. Really, that's all I
Well,
want.
yeah,
to
you could just
that's the only thing I
Blaney,
will
if you.
I won't say no. I mean, everyone has their own things. What works for them, you know. So I don't judge anybody, man. Whatever you want to be, whatever makes you happy.
Excellent. What makes me happy is that you're coming back to Miami Homestead. Hopefully we'll get you in studio. Hopefully we can ride around in your car and you can become a legitimate friend of the show. Can you announce the news that you're bringing your whole party, your whole gang is coming down here again?
Yeah. We're I'm excited to announce it on y'all's show, and like I said, I appreciate you having me. But yeah, we're moving the championship race. NASCAR is moving championship weekend to Homestead Miami Speedway in 2026 officially. November 6th through the 8th. You know, it was at Miami for a long time. It moved to Phoenix for a handful of years. and now they're bringing it back to Miami. So I know a lot of people are excited about that. I'm very excited about it. It's a great area. We would love to have y'all out for championship weekend. It'd be a hell of a time. And so, yeah, officially it's out there. People have been having rumors, but it's definitely happening. So
all right, so now we're friends with Ryan Blaney, and we're going to party with them at Miami Homestead. It's a big deal that this is coming down here. Ryan, thank you, sir. Good seeing you again. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Best of luck this weekend.
I want to continue with something that I can feel off our audience, and I've been trying, and we've been trying to please our audience for a long time, and there's some tension around whenever it is that we're doing the content that we do every day, and Panthers talk breaks out in a way that's a little too aggressively in the weeds on Panthers, or out of nowhere, after a huge NBA night, just wildly fun NBA night, hey, why are you guys talking to a race car driver? I don't know if this is happening. I can assume it's happening, but I'm going to tell you again and remind you that this is a show that celebrates Miami, and we paused for a moment there before getting to the stuff from the NBA last night that I've been, if I'm being totally honest, avoiding for the following reason. I was about as wrong in my analysis as I could be based on the results in the Clippers-Nuggets series when I said the Clippers are good enough to win the championship. I said it for the second straight year. I said if they're healthy, they're good enough to win the championship. Last year, they were not healthy. This year, they were. That series made me wrong because Jokic took a ridiculous shot, and Aaron Gordon saw what was in my lifetime the first thing I've ever seen, a buzzer-beating dunk just because the MVP of the league throws up a stupid, ridiculous shot that he's made twice before in Anthony Davis, but he airballs it, and Aaron Gordon dunks it. I thought that was as wrong as I could be. That's as embarrassing as it can be. Except if you listen to yesterday's show where my analysis was, Aaron Gordon can only dunk. I just saw OKC lose exactly the way the Clippers would have beaten them, by being a veteran team against a young team and savvy and amazing. And that game was the best, obviously, of the night. The Nuggets are champions. That's the best offensive player I've ever seen. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can challenge with his free throws, but he's going to have to dethrone that ogre. And no one shuts that down. That does not get shut down. And so, Amin, I ask you, that basketball night, how magical was that for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah, thanks for getting to basketball about 2 hours into the show. Pretty decent night. Mike just showed me a pretty interesting stat from last night. 2 NBA underdogs of 9+ points won outright on the same day in the playoffs for the first time in the last 25 years last night. So that's insane. That is insane. That is crazy. Because both the Nuggets and the Knicks were going in heavy underdogs into their series against teams that had been rested and waiting for them. And they pulled it off. And I was actually trying to think about, Dan, what was more improbable. I know watching the Knicks game, especially in the second half, the way the shot selection was going for the Celtics. I said it before the game. I said, I think the Celtics are going to win in 5 because they're going to have that one game where they can't hit a 3 and they will not adjust. I had no idea that it would happen that night, right? Meanwhile, the Nuggets-Thunder game, I was certain it was over. It was at that point just kind of like going through the motions, the semantics. We're going to foul, going to make free throws, and then at some point we're just going to dribble it out. And Jokic has this little flurry, and then the Thunder make the mistake of fouling up 3 a little too early.
That was crazy.
But I'll tell you what, I'll give Mark Dagnall a lot of credit because he said, that's on me. The players executed what we do. This is our culture. We like doing that. We probably started a little too early. That one's on me. Which is, by the way, every coach's creed is, hey, man, we have a game plan. I want you to execute the game plan. Now, if we execute the game plan and we lose, that's my fault. I can wear it. But if we don't execute our game plan, that's something completely different.
Can I ask you what would have happened in that spot if Dagnall, if they don't foul up 3 there with 12 seconds left? And for context, Nuggets have no timeouts and Jokic is not in the game.
Yeah.
He's waiting at the scorer's table.
Yeah.
The Nuggets have the ball down by 3, 12 seconds, the clock is ticking. If they decided, no, we don't want to foul here because, the Nuggets without Jokic on the floor are an all-time terrible NBA team, What would they have done there, the Nuggets?
So Dagnall's philosophy is we foul up 3. The part where he said that was on me is that we foul up 3 in the backcourt. Like, that we shouldn't have fouled that early, that far
Yeah, they
away.
only let like 1 second tick off the clock.
Yeah, 1 second came off the clock. So that's the part where I think he would agree with you if he had it back. They still would have fouled up 3. It just wouldn't have happened that early.
Can't let
that far
Jokic back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but again, if Chet Holmgren hits free throws, then we're probably not having this conversation right now. It was great, but Dan, there were 3 things last night from that game that I never thought I'd see. If I could I go through them with you? Number 3, an NBA player telling his coach not to review that call. Never thought I'd see that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander grabs Jokic's arm. The bench doesn't see that part. They call for a review, and Shai's like, no, don't review it, but it's too late. They've already requested it. Number 2, Russell Westbrook making the right play in the clutch. Everyone in America thought he was going head over heels straight to that rim, just going to barrel into it, and instead he looked up and he saw Aaron Gordon in the wing, and he threw it. And I said, what? Shout out to Russell Westbrook. And number 1, the number 1 thing I never thought I'd see in my life, came after the game, Ernie Johnson asking a Dan Le Batard-ass question. He asked Jamal Murray a question that took about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to get out. The best thing they did on Inside was they replayed just Jamal Murray waiting for the question to end. And he's just like he's nodding and he's closing his eyes and then he's looking around. And I just thought, wow, Ernie's learning from Dan. How about that? Never thought I'd see it.
That's funny. By the way, should Aaron Gordon get a statue?
Depends. Did they win a title this year?
Not yet.
But if they do.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No?
Okay.
I'm just curious.
I got to tell you, Westbrook making that pass to Gordon at Oklahoma City, the crowd that gave him a standing ovation as he checked in yesterday, seemingly the only fan base that actually loves him, likes him, loves him. For him to pass up attacking the basket for the game winner, instead passing it out to Aaron Gordon, one of the most shocking NBA plays I've ever seen.
I want to ask Amin and pick your brain because you know the history of the game so much. Aaron Gordon, I guess, was a missing piece and is perceived as a surprising missing piece. He's probably not the most surprising active missing piece in the league. I think maybe in terms of all-time history, that actually might be Derek White for Boston, what he did for Boston in that acquisition. In terms of that tier, Aaron Gordon, Derek White, who else in the history of the game have been more surprising championship contributors? I'm guessing you're going to harken back to a time where there wasn't the superstar era and super teams, and there were just role players that were massive for guys.
No, I'll give you 2 names. One guy is active as well, and one guy from the past. The guy from the past, Derek Fisher, out of a small school, Little Rock, Arkansas. He wasn't heralded. He wasn't like physically gifted. He was short and stout, but he was absolutely a difference maker on 5 titles in L.A. So Derek Fisher's one. The one who's active is Gary Payton II, because this is a guy that everyone said not an NBA player, like not just I don't know if you can win with him. It's like this guy's not an NBA player. He's a 6'3" guard who can't shoot and really can't handle the ball. He defends very well, but offensively, where do you put him? And the Warriors said, we'll make him our power forward on offense. And he absolutely played a huge role in that 22 championship team.
Well, I don't know what Mike Ryan is doing this with the tier of Aaron Gordon. Is that 4th best player on a champion? Because the Aaron Gordon.
I think he's the 3rd best player on a champion.
Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe 3rd best player on a champion. When the Lakers won the championship with Lamar Odom as their 4th best player, that's the tier I'm talking about. And so when your 3rd or 4th best player is Aaron Gordon, and Aaron Gordon was the best player in Orlando, when he was, they were a sub-500 Orlando team. No, I mean they
had a couple years where they weren't sub 500. He clearly wasn't good enough to be a number one.
I mean, it was a top 3.
But it was a top 3 pick, as was Lamar Odom, by the way. That's why those guys, I kind of feel like they just landed. They finally found the right place for them. Maybe not as a franchise player, but as someone who's a contributor. Whereas Peyton and Fisher are guys who are like, this is the guy. That's the missing piece.
Well, I guess to whittle it down, what I'm trying to say is like when they acquired Aaron Gordon, very few people were like, oh, that's going to get it done. That's going to put him over the hump. It was met with a lot of skepticism. Like, that's not going to fix it.
Right, but of course, but none of us knew what Jokic was there then, and none of us did. Nobody did. And now what I'm watching, this is the part I want to untangle with you, because what I'm watching from Denver has at its center something that in my lifetime is an unprecedented thing, who very often makes Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon or players like them a lot better than they actually are to win a championship, because holy shit, that's the best offensive thing I've ever seen. So how good is Aaron Gordon? Well, probably as good as get a lot of third guys, put him in there, and if Jokic is the one throwing them lobs, my guess is they're going to be as good as Aaron Gordon, a dunk champion, so like a specific skill set. How much better? This is one game against OKC, but OKC now has to go through a champion, and what they have to do is go through that guy. Chet Holmgren, you're great. Your defense is great. But Chet Holmgren, you look awfully thin against that guy.
Yeah, but I mean, again, at the same time, I think Oklahoma City's defensive game plan worked for most of the night. Their game plan was, he's going to beat us. He's going to score 40, 50, whatever. He's not going to make everyone else better. He only had, I believe, 2 assists on the night last night. It worked all the way up to like 3 minutes left in the game. Again, Dan, I'm watching that game. There was nothing that indicated Denver's got a run in them and they're making a push.
But take me through the late game situation, okay? Because the legacies that are defined this time of year, a road win from a champion here is exactly how you put a young, great team in a vice grip on how it is you knock OKC out when OKC's been the best team in the sport the entire season. Yeah. And is now going through Jokic is a champion. Take me through the late game situation that makes it so that OKC just lost a game, people are saying, because their coach gave one away, and he's playing against the team that fired its coach and is going after a championship because they're saying, we don't need any coach. That guy was making it shitty around Jokic, and we needed to get the smell of that out of the room.
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot going on. When you want to talk about Denver, David Adelman talked about how everyone kind of stayed together. He said even as we were talking in those huddles and being emotional, it was all about what can we do better, not like, hey, man, you got to do – it wasn't a lot of finger pointing. And I think that happens in part because you lose a czar of a leader in Michael Malone. It becomes more collaborative maybe than it was before. You got to give Coach Adelman credit for fostering that environment. We talk about the Thunder, again – the fouling up 3 thing played a part. It wasn't the whole part. They gave up some easy baskets. Jokic kicked it up a notch. He went 4 of 6 on a 12-2 run in the last 9 minutes of the game. So he's a great player. You're not going to bottle him up forever. I think what it is the Thunder played an easy opponent in the first round, and now you're playing against a team that can legitimately beat you. And there's a difference there because it comes down to execution on both sides of the ball, and you can't let up your foot off the gas. And they did that at the end. They played perfectly for 44 minutes, and then
it's exactly how a young team loses to a champion.
Well, that's how you go. But thankfully, it's not one and done. There's 6 more games, perhaps.
I think it's a pretty massive error, the fouling up 3 there with Jokic waiting at the sideline.
I'm stunned that
I
am stunned that Amin is sitting here and not crying foul the way the internet is at the mishandling of a late game situation, because you're having the perspective of, no, the players decided that game.
Yeah, because yes, it was a mistake. Yes, it made things more difficult. It wasn't like Jokic came in and hit 2 threes and that's how they lost the game, right?
They're an historically awful team when Jokic is not on the floor, and the game was on the line.
I get it. I'm not saying that I would have fouled in that situation. I'm saying when he says our culture, our philosophy is we foul up 3. And he says, that one's on me that we fouled that early.
But he wasn't saying it's on me that we didn't change our philosophy in that moment, which is what should have happened.
No. I mean, he won 68 games, dude. I think
that's the thing. That's the thing. 68 games just gave away home court.
Yeah, and you win one in Denver, and then all of a sudden you got it back. That's a crazy thing when people say, oh, home court. It's like, okay, you lost home court. All you got to do is win one over there, and all of a sudden you got it back.
I know, but that's a worst-case scenario for OKC in the second round of the playoffs.
To have to win one at Denver?
No, what I'm just saying is what happened last night. I mean, basketball heads like you look at OKC and say, yep, have all the things you need to beat Boston and win a championship. That team is ready to win a championship. Is it?
Yes.
Okay, because last night starts those guys have been giving fun interviews all year. They're a young team. It's great to watch them, and they're fun. But now you got to beat that player on a team that doesn't even need a coach because they got that player. And what they did is got rid of the coach so that player would be unbothered by, hey, get that stink out of here. We know who runs this thing.
I just feel like, well, unless you're telling me that Denver's going to win 3 straight games here, like Oklahoma City's not going to win any more games. Like, guys, this is the playoffs. I don't know how to explain this to you. It's not March Madness. Like, teams lose a game 1 at home and then come back and win that series. Now, if they lose game 2, now we can have this, oh my God, young team, they're in deep shit conversation. They lost a game. I don't feel any more in jeopardy about that than the Celtics should or the Cavs should, having lost their game 1s.
Have you been served?
Welcome, everybody, to the David Sampson Show. It happens every Thursday, for the most part, here on the local hour. David is the host of Nothing Personal, and you can follow him on Twitter, at David P. Sampson. We begin in the obvious place. Dan, have you been subpoenaed?
I have not.
Ooh, you're named in the lawsuit. That's an upset. That's my new game show. Have you been subpoenaed?
Wow.
Dave, have you been subpoenaed?
Yes.
In the Sage Steele lawsuit?
Oh, no, not in that one. I thought you just meant in general, like a Tuesday.
We knew that. I mean,
I have never been subpoenaed in any way, and I do not have any history with subpoenas.
Have you ever been served?
No.
Oh, I had such a funny thing on Nothing Personal today about Jason Sudeikis serving Olivia Wilde in the middle of her being on stage.
The reports are that he didn't do that on purpose. The timing.
I
That's
doubt
horse
that he
hockey.
would. Ooh, you think he did that on purpose? Man,
I'm with Samson on this one.
He's bought so much with just via Ted Lasso that I would say Jason would never intend for this.
So the way it works when you hire a service processor is their job is to get that lawsuit served. And if Olivia Wilde does not want to be served, you have to sort of spy on her and figure out where she's going to be, where in public she's going to be, and then you just serve her. And that counts as a service of process, but you're always keeping your client in the loop. It's not like you call when it's done and say, oh, we found her at Comic-Con, but we didn't know she'd be there, and we just happened to be there, and there she was. What a miracle. There is no way that there's plausible deniability that Ted Lasso did not know that that was happening.
Should have done it at Harry Styles' Coachella set, if you ask me. That's the ultimate vengeance.
Can we talk about how invasive and helpless it must make you feel to be served?
Yeah, it feels like a terrible feeling. I mean, you'll be able to tell us in a couple of weeks, given that you were named in the lawsuit and you were definitely getting subpoenaed in that thing. I'm even being careful with what I say because it just seems like a whole to-do.
Are you really named in that Steele lawsuit with the ESPN?
Yeah, get this. She thought Dan got away with talking about politics.
That's funny.
I didn't know that this was on the table for us, really.
Please put me on the stand. Please. I am begging you.
You want to be served? See the dossier called China.
Please, let's put all this out in public so I can hold up my hands and just be like, I was under oath. It was my legal service and duty to tell you all the things that happened that weren't politics with us at ESPN.
There is zero chance that lawsuit is going to go to a trial where you will be put on the stand. Zero.
I feel like I should like go into this lawsuit with Sage Steele just behind her and just say, hey,
Class
give me
action.
10%. Just give me, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm
Now you're talking.
80-20 Stugotz way.
You're a co-defendant and co-plaintiff. First ever. This is amazing.
Help me figure out how to turn this into a thing, Mike, where we can sail on the wings of Sage Steele without doing anything and collide into Disney right now at this moment when they're fighting the state of Florida.
I'm going to be careful with what I say because I genuinely don't want to be subpoenaed, but I was I was both surprised and not, if that makes any sense, because it does seem like a shocking, bold move. Some of the people named in the lawsuit, I was under the distinct impression were strong supporters and allies of Sage during our time over there, but this is also the move to further endear yourself to a certain group. So I can't say that I'm that surprised. I did find it funny that your name popped in there under the guise of someone that got away with it.
Well, yeah, she also, I didn't know whether we would end up, because I think the way that she thinks that we got away with it is that I went on the air the day that she was complaining because there was a ban into our country and Sage Steele was complaining that there was 10 hours of flying, and I purposely, because she's black, I purposely said that is the height of privilege. She was complaining about people being able to get into our country.
Now you're saying too much because that part wasn't outlined. I read the part and it didn't mention that, so whew.
Mm-hmm.
Are you nervous, Dan?
Be careful, Dan.
Do you know what it's like?
Today will be fun, but it pretends that I was allowed to do that. I wasn't allowed. I did it anyway. New Yorker writer J. Caspian Kang says LeBron is starting to tweet, LeBron, more and more like Trump. The tweet from the Met Gala, or not from the Met Gala, reads, unfortunately, because of my knee injury I sustained at the end of the season, I won't be able to attend the Met Gala in New York tonight, as so many people have been asking and congratulating me on, ! Hate to miss an historical event, ! My beautiful, powerful queen will be there holding the castle down as she always has done, ! Prayer emoji, salute emoji, heart emoji, sparkles emoji, sparkles emoji, sparkles emoji.
It's the line of they've asked me to be there and they want me there, but I won't be there.
I think he was like co-chairing or something, so he had, I think, more than just he had, I believe, a role. So that's why they were asking if he was going to be there.
Why are you shaking your head, Zaz?
I like how you put the emphasis on the grammar of "an historic."
A lot of exclamation points.
What's the last three emojis there? What were those?
Sparkles.
What's a sparkle emoji? I don't even know that. Is it just like a sparkler?
No, that's a different. You would surely know the difference between a sparkler and sparkles, yes?
Yeah, sparkler I've used. Sparkles, I don't know how that would be shown in an emoji. I've never seen it. I've never used it. I'm just curious.
So do you know what sparkles look like?
No, I know what a sparkler looks like. I know what fireworks look like.
Yeah.
I don't know what sparkles are supposed to look like.
They look kind of like stars. I'm not fluent in emoji, so I don't know what they're meant to represent. Sparklers are incredible, aren't they, Greg? Because you can play with them 4th of July, and somehow, even if it little hops off and it gets on your hand, it doesn't really hurt. Right.
Bring them back.
Burn you somehow. Yeah, bring them back, Jack, is exactly right.
Oh, see, I see the sparkle emoji right now. It doesn't even look like anything. It looks like the insignia of a car. It looks like an automobile logo or something.
Like a scion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just useless.
I appreciate, speaking of useless and speaking of bring him back, Jack, I appreciate that somebody that we haven't seen in a long time has reappeared now for Warriors Wolves. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if Zaslow or Greg Cody have ever met Don Kang.
No, I have not. Boxing promoter, right?
Don Kang.
Oh, I'm kidding. I'm just a joke.
No, what? Who are you talking about?
Don King, the boxing promoter. It was just like a little sound.
Right, no, it's not Don King.
An understandable mistake, my dear friend.
Thank you. There you go.
An understandable misstep, mishap. My name is Don Kang. I'm often confused with the one and only Don King. We are very different individuals, I promise you that. He says only in America, I say strictly in the United States. And I'm here to promulgate the indefatigable pugilistic showdown between the dastardly delicious Draymond Green.
Yes.
And the rudimentary Rudy Gobert.
All right, I need to help. Please, this series is going to be tremendous.
It's a showdown in Minnesota between the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Have you ever seen a man be put in a chokehold in less than 120 seconds? You will in this series. Have you ever seen a man get booed by 20,000 people for something he did 5 years ago? You will in this series. Have you ever seen a man put his head down and dribble and then spin and barrel and only use his left hand? You will in this series and every series that Julius Randle plays in. Strictly in the United States. Strictly in the United States. I love it.
I saw him crawling into the studio before. I didn't know what it was. I only saw the tip of the hair. I thought a dog was in the studio.
I permit you, Mr. Zaslow, for confusing me for some of our rich brothers in the canine industry. But I am here to let everyone know about the conflagration between the magnanimous Anthony Edwards and the incontrovertible
magnanimous, not you gotta, if you're gonna read the big words, you got to read them correctly.
The incontrovertible Stephen Curry, strictly in the United States, but the showdown in the middle.
Strictly in the United States is a great ripped off slogan. But when you say chokehold within 120 seconds, Juju, put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Will Timberwolves? This is what's going to happen, isn't it?
It's transcendental. Dan Le Batard?
Will Warriors Timberwolves have a chokehold within 120 seconds?
Oh, I submit to you that fireworks will come raining down from the very heavens of the Target Center. Sparkles, perhaps. If you've seen them. I don't know if you've seen one. Perhaps you haven't.
Sparklers.
They are beautiful.
Are they like sparklers?
And you get Draymond Green, the great pugilist of this era, going up against the hated, the despised, the diabolical Rudy Gobert. Strictly in the United States. Where else can you see a Frenchman and someone from Flint, Michigan say, it ends tonight?
Why is he diabolical?
That's what the chat GPT said I should use.
But I can't tell you how funny Strictly in America is as a
United States.
Oh, I'm
United
sorry. I got your slogan wrong. Don Kang, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don
It's
Kang.
been a while. I believe the last time I was here was we were looking for a rematch between Nikola Jokic and Markieff Morris. It didn't quite happen because I don't think Markieff got in that game. But I told everyone, be on the lookout because there will be a rematch soon, and soon there will be. And it did happen in the NBA Finals, but I was not allowed to promote. And that's, you know what? I can't be mad at that. I can't lose my temper because some people just don't have the foresight to know when a good thing is staring you in the eye. But I tell you now, Wolves and Warriors. You know why they love that series, Mr. Le Batard?
Well, I thought we said goodbye to you. I thought that was going to be goodbye to Don Kang.
They both start with the letter W. Yeah. And someone's got to win, and it's going to be Don King exclusively in the Stars and Stripes.
What? Oh, wait. What do you mean? What? That's totally...
Exclusively here.
What Zaslow said moments ago about Russell Westbrook, I do believe that that's a lovely moment for someone who I thought you accentuating the part of that guy going back to that fan base and that fan base still loving him while choosing whether or not it's going to love this team the way it loves what he brought them as the triple-double guy. Russell Westbrook must feel nationally and internationally like everyone thinks he stinks except for that place.
Do you think he acknowledges that people think he stinks? Yeah.
Well, don't you think the last 5 years of Russell Westbrook's career have been that he's gone from triple-double guy, we love him, he stayed at OKC, he stayed with the small city, and Kevin Durant ruined his legacy by bouncing around, and James Harden ruined the game by shooting a bunch of threes, but Westbrook stayed in his town until the very end, and then he went back last night, and to me, can you even write a feel-good story around Russell Westbrook given how prickly he is and given how everyone else outside of OKC feels about Westbrook? All of us acknowledge he's a great player. All of us acknowledge some form of that's the most fast-twitch muscle fiber I've ever seen on an athlete. That's one of the greatest athletes you'll ever see, and that game will probably not age well because he doesn't shoot threes, but he's going to go to the rim, he's going to be stubborn, he's going to be defiant to the very end. He doesn't want to go to the bench like Carmelo Anthony at the end or all of these great stars, and he knows now that most people are thinking he can't help make a champion better. He can only make the Nuggets worse. But holy shit, what a story he got last night. And it's just by simply passing to Aaron Gordon, who I, again, said only dunks.
It was probably one of the greatest moments of it, or greatest nights of his career, right? Like, Harden goes back there. They don't cheer for him. Durant goes back there. They definitely don't cheer for him. They're giving standing ovations to Westbrook, and he was right in the thick of the biggest moment of the game, and he makes the right play when no one else likes him to beat that team. It was probably one of the great moments of his career.
I mean, also, let's not reduce it just to that play. He played great all night long. He was one of their best players, as he was one of their best players during Game 7. He's had a great playoffs. And it's like, this is the thing I think a lot of star players go through, right? Where there's a transition period where, like, I'm no longer a star player, but I still haven't accepted it. And then you accept, oh, you know what? I can still be a contributor playing meaningful basketball if I accept this smaller role. And when that happens, there's great fulfillment that comes out of it. And I think Russell Westbrook has found that in Denver. He's been an amazing contributor for them. And the one thing I think, especially when you see how Harden went out in Game 7, the one thing you know about Westbrook, and a lot of times people hold it as a negative, he's going to play his ass off. He's going to try. The effort will be there. The intention's going to be there. Now, sometimes the decision-making is not there. We hold our breath, we groan, we do all those things. But you know he's going to show up in a way that Harden time and time again has shown he doesn't quite show up in those moments. The other thing I want to say about Russell Westbrook is he is, in a way, a victim of the overanalysis of the social media age. In that Russell Westbrook was a star player, great player, right? Everyone applauded him. Did he have some bad moments? Sure. But then you get people who are analyzing him and say, hey, yeah, he's a great player, but there's these things that he does that aren't so great, right? And then what ends up happening is people start echoing it, and somewhere along the way we convince ourselves that he's all about those things that are his flaws and none of the good things he brings to the table. And we do it time and time again with player after player after player, and then they have to go somewhere else and, subjugate their role or make themselves smaller. And all of a sudden we praise them because we already kicked so much dirt on them that it's already over. So I think Russell Westbrook is a great example of that.
I think it's funny that he's getting so much credit for making that pass at the end of the game. Now, granted, he's never been known as a selfless player. He's not who you think of, but he's a great passer. He led the league in assists 3 times.
Look, he's been a great player for a long time. Before we bring on Sam Morrell, that was absolutely dead-on analysis from Amin. There might not be a player in the NBA who would get more eviscerated by the advanced metrics of this is an inefficient player when Russell Westbrook leads the league and bleep you, I'll dunk on you, get your math out of here. I'll turn the ball over, I'll take a bunch of shots, and I'll be fearless and scary, and I'll do dumb shit, but I'm not scared of anybody, and your metrics don't matter to me. And it just saved the season against the Clippers team I thought was good enough to win the championship. And last night it had the best play when he went back home as an inefficient player. Sam Morrell with us now, and he's our Knicks correspondent, but he also loves all basketball, really dislikes Draymond Green, really dislikes Stephen A. Smith, really dislikes morning television. And so he joins us now here very early from California. Are you going to, or are you coming back from ruining a local television event because you're doing the funniest thing right now? You are doing active promotion on live television where you're trying to ruin morning television.
I'm on my way to ruin one, Dan. Thanks for asking. Yeah.
live, or have they gotten on to your tricks now and they only they'll tape you and then run you out of the studio? You're headed actively right now into bothering people at work on a local television station in Los Angeles?
I'm not. By this point, they know the scam. If they're agreeing, they know what they signed up for. And now the problem is they're disappointed if I don't go too far. They're like, oh, that's it. You brought on your friend as a gimp. That's all he did. I'm like, I don't know how much further I can go. Maybe Gary will whip it out on this one. Who knows?
Okay, this is not where the limits of comedy are, Sam. You have to do better. What do you mean? I don't know how far this goes. It goes right over the edge. Yes, well beyond a gimp. Do your job.
We have something. We'll see if it works. We got something planned for today.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I wanted to talk about what I'm describing as the best Knicks feeling there's been in 25 years today.
That was a damn good game, dude. That was awesome. Geez, Bridges, that guy just comes through at the end. For 3.5 quarters, we're like, what the hell is this guy doing? I know he played great defense, but offensively, you expect something from him, and then just such a clutch play. Brunson, is going to be clutch. OG playing out of his mind. I mean, this is pretty damn fun.
Sam, Bridges made corner 3, and then the big stop on Jaylen Brown at the end. Worth the 5 picks now?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said after the made 3 in the corner and then the stop on Jaylen Brown, is he worth the 5 picks now?
I don't look. If we win a championship, of course he's worth 5 picks. So I don't know. Five first is insane. I've said it's insane, but the guy, Le Batard's been saying, the third guy offensively is a tough guy to find. If he wins you games, then he's worth the picks. Yes.
You say that, and that's a giant if. And I'm going to say, and I don't mean to smoke you out on this one, I feel it's a bit cowardly because I think Knicks fans secretly hate Bridges and are waiting for him to ruin their season.
You're just trying to start shit right now. This is what happens. Your Heat have fallen down the toilet, and all you want to do is ruin a good thing that we have right now.
No, I'm just saying that you're ready to distrust this team because it loses at home, and you don't trust Bridges. You don't trust him. You trust Brunson. You want to trust Karl Anthony Towns. You don't trust Bridges.
Does this Knicks team have some sadomasochistic tendencies? Are we a sub in the bedroom as a team? Yeah. We want to be told, screw you. We want to be told you're a nasty little worm. And that's when we go off on the road. That's where we thrive. So at home, I don't know what's going on. Part of me worries, is it that the diehard psycho fans have been priced out? Is it that this team responds to hatred? Maybe that's what it is. Brunson loves the booze.
Sam, speaking of Brunson, how amazing is it to have a guy who not only is great at the end of the game, but empirically the best at the end of the game.
The best.
In the NBA.
The best by a lot. And that's not close.
I was texting my brother yesterday, this doesn't feel real. We're not used to having a guy this cool. I mean, even the shot he missed, we weren't even – I wasn't upset because we're not there without Brunson. So you can't be mad when he misses a shot like that. How many times does he make it? And the reason we're even in the game to begin with is because he hit those 3 threes in, a 5-minute span with, it's crazy that Al Horford is still this good at 57 years old. That guy's ridiculous. So, it's crazy. Pardon me for looking around. I'm in downtown Seattle, and it's pretty sketchy right now. Jesus Christ. I mean, these people are like vultures. This is crazy. And I'm coming from this is dicey. All right. Sorry.
All right. Well, wait a minute. I don't want you to get to the local television station so that you can ruin it. Do you have to start running? Or are you okay?
They walked by. It was 2 people circling me. It's like West Side Story, but they're on a lot of fentanyl. I don't know what's going on here.
Sam, is Brunson the best player in the series?
As a Knicks fan, we feel that way.
No.
As a normal person.
No. But hold on. Is Brunson
as a normal? Yeah, I think he is. I think Tatum's incredible. Tatum's a great player, but I think Brunson's better. I'd rather have Jalen Brunson. I think he's that clutch. I think you believe that he's going to hit the big shots. He's proven it again and again. Yeah, I'm taking Brunson every time.
But how do you feel about Jay Williams? And you know your Knicks history. Jay Williams saying after the shot against Detroit, and I don't know where that ranks for you in terms of coolest moments, him hitting the three on the road, but the way he hit that shot and you knowing that it was going to go in because of who it is that was taking it. Is Jalen Brunson a better New York Knick than Patrick Ewing and the best New York Knick of all time?
That's a question.
Here's the thing. Why do we have to do this? Why can't we just have nice things? Why do we have to be like, this was better than this? Like, Ewing was incredible, dude. I love Patrick Ewing. The reason I love basketball is because of that starting five. Ewing, Oak, Mace, Starks, Harper. I know Mace was off the bench, but in my mind, he's playing the five over Charles Smith. And I don't know why we always have to do this. Ewing was an incredible defensive player. They're such different players, Ewing and Brunson. Brunson down the stretch, there's no one I want taking the shot more. And it's insane because he's so damn small. I mean, the fact that they had Thompson on him in the Detroit series, they had a giant on him, and he slayed a giant. And now it's a very different type of defense. You know, White and Holiday are incredible defenders, but Brunson is an anyone's slayer. He'll fuck you up. It doesn't matter who you are. He's Jalen Brunson. He's gonna hit the shot. So yeah, every time I'm taking him over Tatum, and that's with much respect to Tatum. He's a great player, great two-way player, but Brunson is that clutch. You take Brunson every time.
Sam, I wholeheartedly agree with you. First of all, shout out to your bona fides where you stopped everyone in their tracks before they could stop you. Say, Mace came off the music. I know Charles Smith was the other starter. So shout out to you for there. But also, I agree with you. Comparison is a thief of joy. Having said that, rank these for me. Jalen Brunson game winner against Detroit. Allen Houston against the Miami Heat. LJ versus the Pacers.
Ooh, those are three good ones. Those are three good ones.
They're all incredible. I honestly have to go with LJ because a 4-point play is insane. and Larry Johnson doing it on the Pacers. I mean, you remember that moment. LJ was so fired up that they had to grab him and be like, calm down and hit the free throw. Like, that's how crazy that moment was. A 4-point play is it was rare at that time. I don't know if you're in the 90s. They weren't. I feel like Jamal Crawford started hitting 4-point plays, and before that they weren't really a thing.
He didn't even touch him.
So, yeah, probably not. But you know what? I don't give a shit. He hit the shot. It was clutch. It was awesome. And fuck the Pacers. I secretly really want a Knicks Pacers Eastern Conference Finals, and I want the Knicks to fucking smoke them to get revenge for last season.
Sam, is there any concern at all that Boston missing 45 3-point shots is a large reason why your team barely won in overtime?
Of course I'm concerned. You think I'm just taking this and being like, this is how life is going to be from now on? I know who we're playing. I know we're playing one of the best basketball teams of all time. But a little credit to the Knicks perimeter D. Our game plan was to not allow any threes, which is why they got a few straight to the basket shots. The Celtics play a very boring style of basketball. They just chuck threes all fucking day. I'm bored watching them. I don't care for them. I don't like that they're Boston. I love the city of Boston. I fucking hate their sports teams. But look, that game plan is to force them to shoot bad three-pointers because you know they're going to shoot them. I know Derek White and Tatum, and I know they're going to hit their threes. I know they're a great three-point shooting team. Yeah, we got away with one, but that was the game plan. So hopefully we can stay on them. A little respect to Bridges and Josh Hart and OG Anunoby for playing insane perimeter D. Same with Deuce when he came in. Deuce had a bad series against Detroit. He came in and hit some big shots. We did what we had to do on the road, and we like playing on the road. So I think our defense was pretty fired up yesterday too.
Sam, if a racehorse broke its leg, wouldn't it be more humane to give it a wheel than to euthanize it?
So I see where you're going with this, and I don't care for your sarcasm.
What do you mean? No, because we were talking. We were talking about the.
You think it's rude to give a Knicks fan hope, is what you're saying?
No. To be perfectly honest with you, Sam, we were supposed to have our animal expert on now, and we bumped him for you. But I'm getting these animal questions in, whether we like it or not.
Don't back off.
So,
don't explain it to him.
No, because
you're genuinely curious.
Yeah, we were talking about the Kentucky Derby yesterday and all the horses that end up getting euthanized. We were also talking, honestly, because all of the ones running in the Kentucky Derby were descendants of Secretariat. So we were talking about how prevalent incest is in the horse racing community and whether or not there are defects, not defects, but mutations genetically by the fact that all of the horses are related to each other, and seemingly they're reproducing with each other. So are they beneficial defects or are they not? This is what we're going to ask, the animal expert.
And he was also asking, so if you have a horse and it breaks a leg, instead of killing it, just put a wheel there.
Yeah, just give it a wheel.
So like a sad walking around handicapped horse, that's what you want to see?
No, I was actually saying if the horse had like one wheel, maybe two wheels, if it had, I'd probably bet on that horse as opposed to the horses with four legs.
I feel like, I don't know who's asking me this question right now, but this is like the autistic portion of the show. Okay, Tony, I don't know what the hell is going on. I was fired up with the Knicks.
Yeah.
You're making me sad thinking about
it's what he does.
horses
It's
right
what
now.
he does. So I'm sorry.
You're
Yes,
bumming
Sam.
me out right
Sam,
now.
okay.
What the
You
hell
know
is
what,
going
Sam?
on?
Sam, you know what? Thank you. You're a comedian, so I appreciate you doing that.
Major penalty, 5 minutes, swooning comedy.
If you had two wheels, would you put them front legs or back legs? Are you dragging the wheels or pushing them? I'll go.
Try to be funnier than a comedian. That's always a good idea.
I mean, he hasn't been funny yet, so.
Oh!
Wow.
Dude,
Well,
the West Side Story with fentanyl?
Tony, I wish that story had wheels so it would have been derailed so hard. You stink.
Tony, you suck, Tony. Tony, you suck. What an asshole Tony is. Sam, I'm sorry. Sam hasn't been funny. What?
You think he's gonna steal my joy today? No one's gonna steal my joy. I've been circled by meth heads in downtown Seattle. They can't steal my joy. I'm looking into their eyes and I'm going, I don't care. Whatever I feel is better than what you took. Your first high can't compete with what the Knicks did to Boston yesterday, because the Knicks are doing, and they're gonna come back 2-0, baby.
Sam, if you had the choice, would you go to the Met Gala or Knicks road playoff game?
Why would I want to go to the Met Gala? Obviously the Knicks. The Met Gala. You think I want to see someone dressed like a freaking turkey? I don't give a shit. Fuck the Met Gala.
There it
the
is.
Met Gala to me just looks like I remember Tina Fey described it as a jerk parade, and ever since I heard that, I was like, yeah, that sounds right. Why would I want to go to that shit? Knicks all day.
Okay, yes. Why would I rather be dressed like a turkey or be a turkey for 25 years as a Knicks fan? And now you're ruining my joy with that guy.
Don't turn it into that, Dan. Don't be a joy thief.
Well, just Tony.
I feel like Tony.
I feel like Tony is the one that's the joy thief here. I believe that he's insulted. I believe you accused him of autism.
Whoa.
I didn't accuse him. I diagnosed him, Dan.
Okay.
Learn the language.
Okay.
Learn the terms.
Last thing before you get out of here, any thoughts on Stephen A. Smith running for president? He said he has no choice to consider it, but
I think it's great. I think it's great. We've had a black president. Let's get a black retarded guy in office. It could be progress.
There it is. Okay.
Sure.
That's not a word that we use anymore, Sam.
Oh, I know. I meant it as a positive. I think he seems. He's the worst, Steve. We all know that. I mean, he's terrible. I love the clip is circulating that he's like, "Go Knicks," and then also, the Villanova does not have one NBA player on that team. We got 3 on the team that smoked one of the best teams ever. So, Stephen A. stinks. But could he be a good presidential candidate? No.
Swerve.
What did you have in the way of thoughts on Draymond Green in this Minnesota series?
Wait, who are they playing? T-Wolves, right? Okay. Warriors, T-Wolves. Look, my heart is with the T-Wolves because they got Dante and Julius. Once a Nick, always a Nick. Ant is fun as hell. The Warriors. Look, Buddy Hield, that was pretty awesome, that game 7 for that kid. You got to give him his props. I will say I think that's going to be a good series. I'm fired up for that, but yeah, I love the moment he had with Jimmy after the game where he called him Alfred because he's the butler. I like vibes like that after a big win. I was in SF for that game and it conflicted with my show at the Masonic, which annoyed me. Anytime you enter that, my real thing is Knicks and then how many tickets I'm selling on the road. That's what it comes down to. So I was annoyed that the Warriors had a game 7. I'm rooting for the T-Wolves in that series. I'd like to see Dante and Julius balled in round 1. That was good to see.
Now, Sam, are you in any way concerned about the trepidation of Rudy Gobert against the irascible Draymond Green, strictly in the United States?
I'm hoping that something unhinged happens as a fan. I mean, here's what happens. You want to keep stockpiling the evidence that Draymond Green is mentally ill for when he really does something really dangerous. So you're like, we told you. That's all you want. I mean, how can he keep outdoing himself? I mean, he put the guy in a sleeper hold. It's like he thinks he's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. He's a psycho. I love watching how unhinged Draymond is. So I'm looking forward to him doing something really stupid that costs his team a game.
Truly sagacious words from the comedian Sam Morrell. But I do declare, I would like to know whether the ineffable Stephen Curry will have one of the...
Why are you talking like that? What is happening?
Well, I'm Don Kang. I'm a promoter, and we have a showdown.
I thought you were
in
Samuel
Minnesota.
Jackson and Django Unchained. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh.
Excellent. Sam's a little unhinged here. Give me a funnier wrestling name that you could have chosen as a professional comedian than Ted DiBiase.
Rowdy Roddy Piper might have worked better, Dan. I'm thinking of that right now. I fucked up.
No, $1 Million Man was the one, especially when he won sleeper hold as a finish. Sergeant Slaughter went with it, like the Cobra Clutch.
All right, I shouldn't rethink it. All right.
Sam,
all right.
DiBiase is universally funny as a comedic name. You will not do a lot better than Ted DiBiase comedic. Go ahead, try. I want to.
He did. Let's let the man go.
See you later, Sam. Good talking to you.
Good talk. Go Knicks.
What are you guys laughing about?
I mean, that was a great appearance. To be honest, like, maybe it's because I'm rooting for the Knicks now, but I definitely see it with Sam. I mean, the line with it's like West Side Story with fentanyl is just crazy.
Fantastic.
It was a great hit from Sam. He gets, I guess, really fired up when he's doing these morning show hits.
He wasn't lying when he said, I looked the meth heads in their eyes and let them know your first high could not compare to how I feel right now. That's the most energetic I've ever seen him. That's the most effervescent. Hold on. Well, I got the Don King in me again. Huh?
Don Kang, not the Don Kang.
Yeah, gotta get
Don Kang snuck in one of my favorite words of all time, by the way, ineffable.
Ineffable.
It's a wonderful, you never hear anybody use that word. Thank you, Don Kang.
You're welcome. I'll let him know when he comes back.
Thank you.
I would like to talk for just a moment, if we could, about lies that come back to bite you, okay? Because I don't know if you guys, when I asked this question of the room, the entirety of the room, do you guys have any thoughts on, let's do this in honor of Stugotz in general, the Stugotz Lifetime Achievement Award for lying. Lies that come back to bite you. Amin, would you have any nominees here on something that, because I see you smiling.
Yeah, I had one that happened to me this last weekend. My phone died, and then someone seeing me use my phone. Oh. Yeah. And I just completely forgot I told the lie. Oh, no. And then I was like, I stumbled into charged it a little bit, but the person who found out knew I was lying. And it was like, I just couldn't keep it's not, you know how they say you can't keep your lies straight? I couldn't keep my lie straight. Just one lie. Couldn't keep it straight.
Well, that's what every liar says. That one lie, I couldn't keep it straight. That's probably not your one lie.
It was the one I got caught on.
What was their reaction? Were they hurt?
I mean, it was just kind of like disappointment / disgust.
Was it a person we know?
No.
And how much sewage and shame did you stew in on, I hurt that person's feelings by accident because I was just avoiding them and I lied to avoid them?
Well, okay, so here's the problem. This isn't the first time that this person has caught me in a lie that came back to bite me. I also once said that my Apple Watch is only there to keep track of my steps and alert me if I get an email. I don't get any text on my Apple Watch.
Man, you really don't want to talk to this person, huh?
Why do you keep interacting with someone you want to lie to so much? Like, just cut them out of your life.
I just don't want to be held accountable to having to respond every single time someone sends me a message.
Or this specific person.
Well, this person seems to catch on really quickly.
Could this person be watching right now?
God, I hope not. Well, I mean, I got caught already both times, so it's like I'm 0 for 2, so they're not learning anything new here.
But you're kind of admitting that you don't want to respond to this person ever.
No, I just don't want to respond outside of my own time frame. I can't be the only one who gets lies that come back to bite me, right? Someone else here has one, right?
Well, I feel like what just happened there is the room stared at you and no one else had anything because you're the only one who smiled when I first brought it up.
Because I'm the only one who's okay with showing my vulnerability.
Thank you, Don Kang.
The liar is the only honest one in the room.
That is correct.
That's America right there, strictly in the United States.
Thank you, guys. Zaslow, I don't believe that Greg Cody has ever been so cheap as to do what Zaslow has recently done, which is, I'm going to allege an act of bravery that is, I'm going to say, borderline dangerous. How much did you pay for a Spirit flight?
You paid for a Spirit flight.
No, what's worse than that? No, hold on a second.
I had to get home from Atlanta the other day, and
Greyhound was out of the option.
When I'm searching for flights, the ticket for one way home from Spirit is $35.
Don't fall for it.
Get what you pay for.
Don't fall for it.
What do you mean get what I pay for? I'm here. I mean, I got home. That's what I paid
Atlanta.
for.
It's like an hour.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But did you pay for bags and stuff? That's how they get you.
No. I made sure that I had a carry-on that would fit everything, and I saw the $35. Like, I don't care how I'm getting home. For $35, I got to do it, right?
They charge you for the carry-on. They charge you for not sitting in a middle seat. They charge you if you're going to have a glass of water. They charge you for boarding at a certain time.
I just sat there and raw dogged.
It had to
they
be
don't do Wi-Fi either.
It had to be $100 out the door, though. Like, it says 35, but they get you all these fees.
No, I think I made it happen. $35. I told my son, I'm like, hey man, we're flying Spirit. He was very upset. He goes, are we sitting on the wing? You know?
Yeah. Did it look like the steerage in the Titanic where they were playing like harmonicas and accordions and shit?
I had to I had to do it.
When you say you were flying Spirit, you actually had to fly the plane because at that money, you don't even get a pilot, right? I mean, how much did you spend for a bag of peanuts? $5?
I didn't buy anything. I told you I raw dogged it.
He's not listening at this portion of the show generally.
Do you mean you flew in Spirit? Like you're supposed to go to Atlanta, but you didn't actually go?
No, and I didn't purchase the seats because you're right. If you get anything but a middle seat, apparently you have to pay for it. So I'm with my son. We're seated in different rows.
How old is
Because I didn't
your
choose
son?
my seat. I didn't want to pay for it.
How old is your son?
16.
And how did
That's
CPS?
old enough to
How did
say so.
CPS react?
He's a big boy. You're gonna be all right. You sit right there. I'm gonna sit over here. Shout me out if you need me.
None of you have ever taken a $35 Spirit flight. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Have you ever taken a $35 Spirit flight?
Well, and let me also add a little bit of context. So it was either taking the $35 flight home or the next cheapest flight at the time that I needed it was $250.
Yeah, that's the one I
Times
take.
2.
That's the one that I take.
I gotta take the Spirit flight.
No, you don't. No, because
Yeah.
I kind of want to ensure that I'll be okay.
He's here, and if you're not okay, you're dead.
I'm
Who
here.
cares? What difference does it make? The $220,
If you're not
you're
okay,
dead.
you're
Who
dead.
cares?
Who cares what
Yeah, you're
difference
dead.
does it make?
Yeah,
What?
what's
I'm
your-
sorry. No,
what's
death
your
is
dead?
only like the worst thing
please.
possible.
Well, but he's saying it's not like you're being tortured. You know, it's just all of a sudden.
I'm not being tortured.
It's over.
My
I'm
final
gone.
moments
What
are,
difference
oh
does
my
it make?
God, I'm dying in a fireball.
If I were to look up, honestly, the airline disasters, I don't think Spirit's on any of those lists.
I mean, we haven't actually had many airline disasters. There's been a recent uptick to which I would say now would be the time to take the $200 flight.
Now batting number 99, Spirit Airlines.
I'll tell you, man. If I need to get somewhere and I see a $35 flight, I have to take it.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Your son's not going to let you forget this. This is going to be a story that you're going to hear about.
How's
for
he
a
not
while.
going to let me forget it? We got home.
Yeah, but it's just bad. It's just bad.
It was an
It's
hour.
bad news.
To Atlanta's a nothing flight.
Bad
Totally.
news. Bad news.
I didn't fly international in Spirit.
Bad news. You sat in a different row as your son. You're going to hear about that.
At 16, he doesn't want to sit next to his dad anyways. Like, honestly, they were on a trip. You went to what? You went to like a concert or something together? Like, yeah, they had enough time together.
Did you teach him how to fashion a shank out of a toothbrush?
You
guys are flying elitists around here. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, no,
here.
when it comes to like Spirit Airlines.
$250 was the next flight.
I went on Spirit Airlines
Times 2.
once.
Not a bad fare.
I went on Spirit Airlines once in my 20s. It was also to Atlanta.
And what happened? You're here.
I decided never again because of my experience on Spirit Airlines.
What happened?
It was a hell ride.
Why?
It was terrible. It was delayed several hours. The seats were uncomfortable. My knees were in my chest. It was turbulent. Everyone was rude. I didn't feel safe.
That sounds
Shall I
made
go on and on and on about why I decided my experience there was so bad I shall never do this again?
Now, Mike, let me ask a follow-up question. Did you bring any cartons of cigarettes for bartering purposes?
For bartering, absolutely. Everyone knows that you have to do that.
Got to. How else are you going to use the bathroom? You think you just walk up and use the bathroom on a Spirit?
They
flight?
have bathrooms?
Oh, they do. You just got to bring like 3 cartons of cigarettes with you, though.
$35, man. Had to do it.